Hey, hello. We live? Yeah, we're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. I just got. Uh, I was just setting up stream. That's why we were 5 minutes late. Also, another thing to know: today's stream is going to be very short, 3 hours long. Around about 3 hours long, because after that I need to attend a wedding. Anyways, so all that aside, welcome Badrock, Roy, Rima, Sound of the Waves, and Psychotic Gamer. As you can see, the new YouTube change where you can say your usernames, not your actual name. So, well. Anyways, we shall go ahead with the game. Right. 3 hours is short? Wow. Hello, Egg Fires. See, that's the thing. I can't even know some of your old usernames. I'll just have to call you by your usernames instead of your tag name. That's called... I mean, the @ thing is the username, right? Or would that be the tag name? Maybe I'm thinking too hard about this. Yeah, I shouldn't. Compared to my normal 6-hour streams, yes, that is short. That is short. But still, welcome to the stream regardless. I haven't been running Mirror Dungeon, honestly. Like, after getting a Night of Despair Rotia, I'm just like, yeah, I'm not really in much need of running Mirror Dungeon. But hey, I got this. The Battle Pass reward, Ego on Sinclair. Don't know if I want to equip it or not, but I'll equip it and then learn the harsh truths. And that reminds me, the other thing I wanted to say was today it was going to be an Arknight stream, but Arknights was downloading. That's why I was just like, you know what? This is taking way too long. Let's just do a short Limbus stream today. We'll start Canto 5 and then I'll dip. So the next 2 or 3 streams, depending on how working Arknights feels, would be Arknight streams, and then you'll finally continue Canto 5. That's the plan, at least. Anyways, the other thing I wanted to know was, do we upgrade what's it called? Egos. Thread spinning egos. What do we do with them? What do we do with them? That's my question. Do I have any yet? No, not really. Honglu? No. It's Moorsalt, Ryoshu, Don. Yeah, I got Don's one here. Red sheet. Ego. But yeah. I was just taking a look, seeing if I want to thread spin any of the egos. You keep scaring us with no Limbus content, but we still keep getting it no matter what. I mean, no Limbus content for like a week? At max? For all you sleeper agents? So, that's all I'll say. It's not like you won't be getting any content for the next month or something. Even if I do Arknight streams, I'll be sure to do like 1 Limbus stream a week or something like that. But it's completely on, by the way, it's completely on Arknights and also Android Studio emulator for not making that happen. Anyways, I'm just kind of go with the egos I do use. Alright, I'll thread spin the Abyssal Dance ego. Progress, thread spin. Let's go. Another one. Thread spinning 3. When attacking just a single target, Ego Awakening upgraded. Coin power +2, ideal. Aha! More gloom damage. Inflict 2 tremor, 2 sinking. Ego corrosion has been upgraded. Right. Hello Rory, welcome back to the stream. How you doing? Hopefully you've been having a good day and continue to have a good time on stream. We're just thread spinning the ego. Nice. And now you get, of course. So no. But yes. They just thread spin the ego because why not? For Ishmael, I'm not touching anything else. Alright, uptype 4. I just completely forgot about that. Let me open some of these up. I have not been running mirror dungeons, to be fair. Let me open 10 of them. That's 17, 29. I need 50, alright? No, not here. Wait, how? Yeah, I need 50. Gotcha. If so, I should be able to uptype for her. 19. Ah, come on. I need one more. Come on. Of course. Then I'll get 3 more. Hey! Now she'll get uptied 50. Let's go. So every skill would gain a protecting sword, which just defense level up for every stack, and aggro to the leftmost skill slot on the dashboard. Nice. A little bit more deep tiers, I guess. It's the Limbus. We Limbus in the bus. Hello, I'm Jerry. Welcome to the stream. How you doing? Hopefully you've been having a good day and continue to have a good time on stream. We're finally uptying 4, because why not? Also, that's a lot of buffs. I'll just say that. Identity uptie 4. Max. Anyways. Now we'll go full on sinking, piercing sword, protecting sword, and also tear-shaped sword, everything. Uptight 4. Ah, you get a nice, what's it called? Foreground border on the card. Nice. Anyways, hey, welcome Jerry to the stream. How you doing? Hopefully you've been having a good day and continue to have a good time on stream, and we'll be going ahead with Canto 5 setting sail, and I only have 2 hours and 45 minutes for this stream from this moment on. Aboard Mephistopheles' deck. It hasn't been long since this bus boat was hounded by the sirens and the flashing green lights. Right. The sinners were sitting uncomfortably, trying to get some shut-eye in the ship cabins, formerly known as the bus cabins. The thought of returning to their rooms didn't even seem to occur to them. After gazing out the window for a while, Faust came to her feet and approached the helm, formerly known as the wheel. Yeah, what happened? What happened?
네, 신호가 왔군요.
Where the hell did we receive a signal from? Faust? Yisang is not having a good idea. I mean, sorry, good time. Unideal.
드디어 데우스에서의 모험이 시작된다는 말인겐가?
어떤 신호가 왔다는 거죠? 알람 소리가 들리는 것도
Not even an
아니고
alarm.
무언가가 나타나거나 한 적도 없는데.
Yeah, stuck on a boat for days, much worse than a bus. True. You can't, because you can't even go out.
시야에는 잡히지 않지만 메피스토펠레스가 먼 곳의 연기 신호를 감지했습니다.
A smoke signal. Alright.
연기 봉화를 피울렸다는 건가? 그걸 기다리고 있었던 거구만.
I guess that's what we have been sitting on our butts for. Did you read the many episodes before Canto? Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
항의 시작. 첨벙 첨벙.
Instead of vroom vroom, it's splish splash. Sailing is a go.
슬슬 연안 구역에서 벗어나 대호수 초입이라고 부를 만한 부분으로 진입합니다.
What one could call the Great Lake approach.
지금부터는 자동 항해 기능을 작동시키겠습니다.
Automatic navigation system.
무엇이? 지금까지는 대호수가 아니었다는 것이요?
Was not the Great Lake? Of course, Dawn would be surprised.
정의를 말하자면 지금껏 대호수에 있었다고 할 수 있지만 특별한 위협이 존재하지 않았기 때문에 가고 있는 정보에 맞춰 구분하여 말씀드렸습니다.
So the real Great Lake, so-called, is more dangerous. That's basically what Faust is saying here. Hello, Duck Lord. Welcome to the stream. How you doing? Hopefully you've been having a good day and continue to have a good time on stream. Yes, we are back with Limbus.
그런 일들이 있었는데 위협이 없었다는 것인가? 저기에 있는 이상구는 항해 내내 양동이만 붙잡고 있지 않은가?
You sang as if there to have been burying his face in that very bucket. I shall have thee know.
나 괜찮소. 신경
Yisang is currently in an extremely unideal position.
처음엔 물을 퍼내려는 줄 알았건만 속에서부터 다른 걸 퍼내니 어쩔 도리가 없네.
A little unfortunate, yes.
그리고 그 월피레기스밤 그것이 지나간 지도 얼마 안 되었고.
Sorry, what?
그리고 그 월피레기스밤 그것이 지나간 지도 얼마 안 되었고.
Wal. Wait, well, how did she pronounce it? Wal. Gishbum? English. I need to hear that again.
그리고 그 월피레기스밤 그것이 지나간 지도
월-
얼마 안 되었고.
Gishbum. Hello, Callan Murphy, and hello, Thumb Caprio. Welcome to the stream. How you doing? Hopefully you've been having a good time and continue to have a good time. Hopefully you've been having a good day and continue to have a good time on the stream. The moment there is silent. Oh, bro. Classic Spanish. That incident is quite fresh in my mind. Yep, the Wallpickers Night.
발프루기스의 밤입니다. 그리고 그 모든 일들이 데우스에 의한 것은 아니지 않은가요?
Attributed to the dangers of the Great Lake.
거짓원인의 오리로군.
False cause fallacy.
어려운 말이 너무 많으니 본인은 자던 잠이나 마저 자겠소.
Quite the rush of daunting ideas thou hast thrown in my direction. I shall henceforth continue to slumber then. Did I get the new Hish ID? I'm just simply not interested. So I'm saving for either another Wallpickers Night or, to be fair, something else. That's it. I'm just straight up not interested at all. Whenever the Dongrish strikes again, it never gets any less funny. True.
아니, 위험구역에 들어섰다면 이제 몸을 추스르고 긴장 상태에 돌입해야 한다고 본다.
And ready ourselves for what dangers there may be. How it is?
총원, 경계 배치.
To the defensive stations. Aurus suddenly leapt to her feet and began barking orders at the sitters.
뭐야? 아씨, 심장 멎는 줄 알았네.
오티스, 이 배는 자동으로 운행되고 있어요. 위험한 상황은 피해갈 뿐더러 마주할 수밖에 없다면 경보가 울릴 거예요.
It'll sound and loud. Well then. Nice.
나 참 그런 뜻 모를 기능을 얼마나 신뢰하라는 거지?
Devious got out a smile with the. Do you really expect me to trust that incomprehensible contraption? Got most of the issues just by shit starting. Hello, Iris Corvus. Welcome to the stream. How you doing? Hopefully you've been having a good day and continue to have a good time in the stream.
게다가 그 장치라는 것도 막판에 그 보트 센터 해결사들이 급하게 붙여놓은 것일 뿐이잖아.
There's nothing but some slapdash last minute installation by the boatworks fixes. Damn. I mean, true. It's not fully reliable.
확실히 파우스트가 직접 장착하지 않았죠. 신뢰도가
So no, its reliability is not absolute.
잘 말했다. 자고로 항해는 알 수 없는 일들이 도사리고 있는 법. 결국 사람이 나서야 한다는 것이다.
Oh boy.
그렇다면 그대가 이 배를 이끌겠다는 말인가?
Then shalt thou be the one to lead this vessel to victory?
관리자님께서 항해에 대한 기억을 갖고 계시지는 않으니 그 편이 옳겠군. 나는 마침
Luckily, I'm quite experienced with the leadership position. Was that supposed to be a backhanded comment? As executive manager, unfortunately lacks any memories pertinent to sailing. Luckily, I am quite experienced with the leadership position.
오, 대장.
Commander Ita.
대장이 아니다. 선장이다.
I'm no commander, I'm your captain.
관리자님, 이번엔 관리자님의 대리로서 선장직을 잠시 맡겠습니다.
Allow me to briefly assume your authority so I may lead this vessel as its temporary captain. She continued before I even had the chance to
자,
reply.
들어라. 무릇 항해라는 것은
Sailing, that is to say, the act of traveling across bodies of water after an indeterminate amount of time.
라는 것이다. 항해의 기본. 다 잘 받아 적었나 제군들?
She just did a fucking Pow-style information dump on the entire fucking team. And that concludes the fundamentals of sailing. Have you been taking your notes, men?
후비죠, 후비죠.
Kettleman is asleep.
들을수록 신기한 것 투성이군. 마치 모험하는 것 같지 않은가?
Quite a considerable amount of new knowledge I've acquired.
거친 파도 속 폭포를 뚫으며 모험을 하는 것. 그것은 이 몸의 꿈 800개의 선 3개 중 하나였다네.
Sorry? It was one of my humble 863-year-old dreams to 63 what 863 years old? 863-year-old dreams to sail the oh you mean actual dreams when you sleep. That was one of my humble 863-year-old dreams to sail the Great Lake as an adventurer, like a challenger of sorts, quite a rough road waves. Waves, I mean.
어찌 그리도 숫자가 구체적인지.
Such an exact number of aspirations you have. Oh, the dreams to... Oh, so what she wants to become, right? Damn, okay.
오티스님, 질문이 있습니다.
How's this? I have a question. Hello, Gentako, and hello. Welcome back, Sound of the Waves. I've come from the tentacle.
좋다. 허가하지.
Yes, you're recognized.
저 복잡하게 생긴 레버는 무엇인가요?
Yisang is not. Yisang is having the most unideal time of his life. What's that complicated looking lever over there?
나도 궁금했다네. 저건 대체 무슨 기능을 하는가?
What made the function of that peculiar device?
혹시 누르면 배에서 대포가 차걱 차걱 나와서 막 빠바방 하고 나가는 것은 아닌가?
Man, Don's VA is so over the top for some of her lines. It's amazing.
혹시 누르면 배에서 대포가 차걱 차걱 나와서 막 빠바방 하고 나가는 것은 아닌가?
트랜스포메이션 레바인가? 실제로 본다면 제법 멋질 것으로 보.
In which you are a whale side of this contraption in action. Hello, Pat, and welcome to the stream. How you doing? Hopefully you've been having a good day and continue to have a good time on the stream. Today's going to be a short one. What happened, Nowadays?
저 오티스 씨?
요새 들어 쓸데없이 겉멋 만들고 소갈맹이는 제대로 되지 않은 것들이 소위 최신 기술이라는 가짜는 이름 말에 생겨나더군.
Did she dodge that question because she had no idea what the lever did? Huh. Now she's replying with, I've been seeing more of these as of late. They're so-called bleeding edge technologies, are hollow inventions that have nothing to show for it aside from the pretty serious.
편리함만 줬다 보면 위험성은 증대한다. 그런 최신 기술에 기대다 보면 어느 순간 전부 무너질 거라고.
There's nothing but ruin at the end of the road paved with orbital lines on these bleeding edge technologies. I mean, we kinda somewhat learned that in Canto 4, so interesting. But I feel like she dodged the question for some reason about what the lever does.
기계의 피와 땀과 같은 나사와 기름 속에서 이뤄진 열기.
Further fueled in the furnace of bolts and engine oil, the ship's blood and sweat.
그 속에서 지휘자의 냉철한 리더십과 부하들의 탄탄한 충성심이 만들어내는 조합.
A combined force of the commanding officer's decisive leadership and the subordinates' firm loyalty. Blood? What?
제대로 된 정통과 역사가 있는 공방 장치는 그런 식으로 돌아가는 게 맞는 이치인 것을. 그게 바로 전우회라는 것이 탄생하는 순간이다.
Remember kids' internet is you. Hello, Mr. Welcome to the stream. How you doing? Hopefully you've been having a good day and continue to have a good time on the stream. Today's going to be a short one, only a 2.5 hour stream from this moment onwards, as I have to attend the wedding later on. But still, welcome all 15 of you who are watching right now. That is how proper workshops of tradition and history are supposed to be run. Now that is how true comrades are born.
이해는 안 가지만 멋있어요.
But that was kind of cool.
가슴에 뭔가 울림이 느껴져요.
대장! 아니 선장! 최신 기술이라는 것이 자꾸만 불량한 소리를 내고 있어.
This bleeding edge technology is bleating like a mule.
이 오티스 증명해 보이겠다.
I also shall prove it to the world.
이따위 최신 기술 없이도 항해에는 문제가 전혀 없다는 걸.
What? Interesting how she doesn't like some bleeding edge technologies, huh? I mean, it can also tie back to... Oh, right. Actually, that would have been better. It just completely slipped my mind that I should have read Leviathan first.
자, 돈키호테 선언. 출력 손잡이를 최대로 개방.
Sea Woman Don Quixote. Set the power level to the maximum
손잡이
output.
최대 개방! 하겠소!
싱클레어 선언. 키를
Singer
중앙에 놓고
Sinclair.
스위치.
Set the helm to the neutral position and hit the switch.
키를 중앙에 놓고 스위치. 키를 중앙에 놓고 스위치.
가자!
엔진 완전히 침묵.
The engine has fallen silent.
자동 항해 기능이 중지되었군요. 오래된 모듈이라 재부팅을 하려면 약 5시간이 소요됩니다.
The automatic navigation system has failed. It is an old model. Rebooting will be complete in approximately 5 hours.
운전수를 버린 벌이야.
That's what you get for abandoning your bus driver. Caron's teasing us. Wait, so we're just stuck here?
그럴 리가요. 자동 항해 기능이 메피스토펠레스 엔진에 녹아들었기
Melded with the automatic
때문에
navigation
엔진을
system.
기동하는 건 어렵겠지만
The ship itself can still
배는
move.
움직일 수 있습니다. 수동으로 전환하면 될 뿐입니다.
Manually activated backup power system on standby. What's that gonna be? Nice. The laws.
자, 제군들. 이러한 위기 상황에서 가장 중요한 것은 명확한 지휘와 그에 따르는 단합이다.
Oh man. Clear orders and solidarity are of paramount importance in times like these.
영 하면 오른발을, 차 하면 왼발을 돌리도록.
Oh, let's go. Hello, Cheeseburger Spicy Sauce. Quite the name you got there, but welcome to the stream. How you doing? Hopefully you've been having a good day and continue to have a good time on stream. We're starting Canto 5. After beating Canto 7, suffering and ran out of and kept letting them chill here and watch. Thank you for arriving on stream and hope you have a good time. As I said earlier, while I goof around on stream.
영,
Heave!
차,
Oh.
영.
자꾸 나발이고 너는 왜 땀 한 방울 안 흘리고 가만히 서 있기만 하는 거냐?
Evo, how is it fair that you get to stand there barking orders at us? While you're pollinating our bums, while we are peddling our bums off.
어리석군. 선장의 제약 손실은 부하 전환의 위험을 불러일으킨다.
Of course, the fucking devious outers. A most dim-witted question. Professional trash talker for real. A captain must preserve his strength or risk putting his subordinates in danger.
체력을 보존하기 위해 내 몸은 쓰지 않는 것이다.
This is precisely why I'm refraining from partaking in this collaborative effort myself.
네가 언제부터 대장이었냐?
Since when are you our commander? Well, she did say she's the captain, not the commander. Did she censor herself? Instead of saying those damn seagulls can fuck off already, she said those damn seagulls can flock off already.
그냥 저 거지 같은 갈매기들을 납치한 다음에 발전기를 돌리게 훈련시키면 안 되는 거냐?
Quite the idea, Heathcliff. Kidnapping seagulls and training them to panel the generator.
어이, 잘난 파우스트 씨, 척척 박사라며.
Smart
그
ass.
정도의 기술은 네 머리로 금방 뚝딱 만들어낼 수 있는 거 아니야?
That should be easy peasy for your brilliant intellect now.
불가능은 아니지만 효용성이 떨어져요. 기초적인 배변 훈련부터 시켜야 하니까요.
I can make it happen indeed, yet I do not, as it is inefficient. Rudimentary toilet training will be the first step in making them viable as a constant source of labor.
카론, 심심해. 카론은 운전하고 싶은데.
Caron's bored. Caron wants to boom boom.
교체. 운전기사인 네가 발전기를 돌려라. 심심해하던 잘
That should keep you occupied for a while.
어머, 감당되나? 그러면 베르가 가만히 있지 않을 텐데. 면담하고 싶어?
That's how you get yourself a consultation, you know?
야이씨. 잠깐. 우리 천천히 뒤집어.
Everybody's tired.
아니 왜 이렇게 땀을 흘려가면서 발전기를 돌리고 있어야 하냐에 대해 근본적인 원인을 따져보란
Peddling the
말이야.
crap out of the generator, huh?
모든 결과에 일일이 원인과 책임을 따져보는 것은 구린 발산이다. 최종 결과가 성공적이라면 그 전의 것들은 전부 과정에 불과하게 되니까.
To nitpick and seek someone to take the fall for every little thing is a stinking thought. All that happens on the road to success is merely part of the success process, I mean.
아니, 탓을 하자는 게 아니라 애초에 왜 이렇게 쫓기듯이 속력을 내야 하냐 이 말이야.
I'm just wondering why we're pedaling so damn hard to begin with. It's not like there's something coming after us.
우리의 목적지는 유사의 큰 항구 중 하나라며. 아니 목적지도 방향도 정확히 알고 있고 말이야.
True.
그 항구가 움직이는 것도 아니고 왜 그렇게 서둘러야 하는 건데?
Why all this urgency?
아니 그렇잖아. 이 잔잔한 대호수 한복판에 뭐 갑자기 괴물이 튀어나와서 우리를 다 죽이겠다는 그 뭐 예고장을 보낸 것도 아니고.
Now that feels like foreshadowing. It's not like some monster's going to suddenly appear out of nowhere and attack us, right?
축적된 경험들로 인해 어느 정도 직감이 발달하게 된 것 같군요, 그레고르. 흥미롭네요.
It appears that your consolidated field experience has evolved into a form of intuition. Fascinating, Gregor.
파우스트는 이를 긍정적인 변화라고 여깁니다.
That feels ominous. Faust finds this development optimistic.
우리는 앞으로 10분 이내에 이 구역을 벗어나야 해요. 그러니까 예상의
We're falling
예상보다
somewhat behind the
조금
forecast of my
지체되었네요.
predictions.
불길하지만
Why precisely 10 minutes?
제시하는 이유는
대호수의 규칙 때문입니다.
Sorry, what? The laws of the Great Lake?
역시 그 규칙 때문인가?
Darn law of the Great Lake again.
로자, 당신이 대호수의 규칙을 알고 있을 거라는 예측은 없었는데요. 직감이 이런 방향으로 발달할 수 있다고 보기는
Quite difficult to believe that even with the consolidated experience, your intuition would.
미안. 이번에는 아는 척 좀 해보려고 했어. 매번 되묻는 패턴도 식상하잖아.
I see. Just wanted to look like I was in on it for once. Girl gets tired of asking every time, you know.
유사의 대호수에는 반드시 지켜져야만 하는 규칙이
The Great
있습니다.
Lake of Ucorp has laws that must never be broken. True.
그리고 그레고르 씨의 말씀과 달리
And yes, the port can and will sail away, Gregor.
뭐 하다 호수에서도 규칙이 있다고?
What laws could it possibly have?
규칙을 어기는 학생이 있으면 호수에서 매라도 들고 오기라도 해?
In class rules?
징징거리는 새끼. 뭐 분하는 규칙은 없어? 귀 따갑고.
Snap your neck completely. There better be a law that lets me snap your neck completely. My eyes are starting to bleed. My ears are starting to bleed. Guys, knock it off. I could almost hear a well-timed sigh followed by honest but brutal piercing words. It was like someone recorded her sigh and played it in my head. Ah, Ishmael. But the traumatized fishes ain't here. But Ishmael was nowhere to be seen on the deck.
그러니까 앞으로 제게 바라는 게 있다면 확실하게.
Stated clearly. She wasn't kidding. Ishmael remained in her room, not a peep to be seen nor heard despite the commotion. Not appearing once through all that happened since the incident.
설명을 드리고 싶지만 그보다 이 구역을 벗어나는 것이 우선된다는 걸.
As much as I would like to provide you with an explanation, leaving the zone takes precedence.
금방의 대화로 소모한 시간을 계산했을 때 남은 건 7분 정도입니다.
Our last conversation left us with 7
구역을
minutes.
벗어나려면 직선 거리로 15km 가량 남았다.
We're approximately 15 kilometers away from the edge of this zone as the crow
한
flies.
사람당 시속 10km 이상의 추진력을 담당할 수 있어야만 안전하게 넘어갈 수 있다.
10 km per hour if you are to escape in time.
오늘따라 단합이 잘 되는군. 아주
Wonderful.
흐뭇한 광경이야.
가자, 로신한테! 목적지가 바로 눈앞에 있다! 달려보세라!
Rocinante. A destination is nigh, California.
쟤는 왜 저렇게 힘이 넘치는 거야?
Where does the girl get her energy fucking Weirdness in the background. Oh my god, Wursold is having a difficult time. There's the real shoe. Gregor is about to break his back. Virgilus was just the red eyes. Faust is apparently enjoying it. I don't know.
놓고 갈 공간이 어디 있다고 그러세요?
Live where on a ship?
이 정도 강도에서의 페달링에는 복식 호흡이 가장 효과적이다.
Diaphragmatic breathing is conductive to maintaining consistent speed in an exercise of this intensity.
시속 10km 정도를 담당하는 추진력에서는 그렇죠. 좀 더 부하가
Especially when
코와 입은
more so when each cylinder is responsible for about 10 km/h of energy output. Any higher energy would require hypernemia to maintain that speed.
자기는 안 지쳐?
Do you ever get tired?
네, 뭐 3분 남았습니다.
No, 3 minutes remaining now.
무슨 일이 일어나는지도 모르면서 이렇게 힘만 빼는 게 의미가 있어?
She said there's no time to step on it with your life.
하루는 부릉부릉 하고 싶었어. 이건 따릉따릉이야.
Caron wanted to vroom vroom. This is squeak squeak.
따릉따릉. 재미없어.
That's no fun.
콧노래 부르면서 노동하는 것도 좋은 활력이 되네요.
I didn't know how energizing wax songs could be.
뭐야? 왜 이렇게 안 지치는 사람이 많아?
저희 집안에서 강제로 받아온 수련에 비하면 힘든 축에도 들지 못하죠.
This is not even a warm-up compared to the training my family forced me to do.
닥치고 밟기나 해.
앞으로 남은 시간은 30초.
I don't think we're making it, guys.
30초.
박진감이 넘치는 걸. 이것이 바로 모험이 아니겠는가?
Bro, the seagull fucking photobombing image.
이렇게 거대한 적에게 돌진하는 것 참.
I don't calm down. You're gonna you're gonna not have enough air to breathe.
말과 호흡을 아껴야 한다. 흐름이 망가진다. 들이마시고
Save your words.
내쉬고
You're breathing.
들이마시고 내쉬고
Remain in
들이마시고
the flow.
내쉬고
Breathe in, out. Breathe in, out.
들이마시고
Breathe in,
내쉬고
out.
들이마시고 내쉬고.
Nope, Dante's still tired because it's only a prosthetic head of a human body, so he's still immortal. Just his head is replaced with a clock.
이제 얼마큼 남았지?
How much time? 10 seconds remaining.
보통은 이 타이밍에서
My multiples of fire.
안 나요?
다들 입 다물고 마지막 젖 먹던 힘까지 내라.
Look alive, deckhands. Put your back into it. Seagull, the true sinner for this canto. Somehow we managed to escape the zone before Faust counted down to 0. Jesus. Some sinners immediately threw themselves to the deck of the ship like limp puppets, while some looked like they had just taken a quick rest at a park bench. So, we made it somehow, but...
규칙에 대한 그 어떤 징조도 보이지 않는다만
Faust.
내가 잘못 본 건가? 파우스트 씨?
설마 규칙이고 뭐고 순 개뻥이었고 우릴 그냥 개처럼 부려먹을 작정이었다면 진심으로 가만두지 않을.
The tranquil lake surface we just pedaled through was gone. as though it was never even there. Hey, there it is. And this place was an immense something. Its innumerable legs or tentacles writhed, rising above the lake surface. I can't even tell where the thing ended and where the lake began. There's blood in the sea. Did it burst from the lake, or were we traveling unaware on its body the whole time? Oh yeah, the blobfish. Blobfish and Dawn. I couldn't even find the right word to describe the magnitude of that thing. Its appearance sent waves across the waters all the way to the zone we were in. Mephistopheles shook violently as though it was about to capsize. It need not be said that the sinners on deck were given an ultimately shower.
와우, 조금만 더 늦었다간 모두가 과자 부스러기 꼴이 되었겠어. 겁나는 것이니까.
Nary a peril, of course.
만조. 이 정도는 되어야 날뛸 맛이 나지.
Not bad. No, this is more like it.
만일 저것이 우리를 한 번 더 공격하려 한다면 승산은 없다.
You have no chance of withering a single strike from one of its limbs.
아니, 저것은 이곳에서는 우리를 내버려 둘 거다.
No, but it will leave us alone as long as we are here.
그게 대호수의 규칙이니까.
That is the law of the Great Lake. Oh, so something from one zone will not attack, will not go to another zone. Is that the law?
이제 미뤄뒀던 설명을 할 수 있겠군요. 유사 대우수의 규칙은 여러 가지지만 지금 필요한 설명을 간단하게만 하죠.
I will relay only the pertinent information for now.
한 호수에서 일정 시간 이상 머무를 경우 각 호수만의 파도가 밀려옵니다.
Oh, lingering longer than a predetermined amount of time in a single lake will cause one to be struck by the waves of each lake. So all the ships must be moving. Why?
보통 저런 걸 파도라고 부르나?
호수와 호수 사이를 넘어가는 것 또한 정해져 있는 시간과 조건이 각각 존재합니다.
There are also laws governing the time and direction in which ships are permitted to cross the borders between the lakes.
뭐야? 그러면 어디에 멈춰 있기만 하면 반드시 저런
Octopus
문어다리
tentacle.
같은 건데 당한다는 거잖아.
Apparently,
그래서 당연하게도
it naturally follows that everything on the Great Lake is on a constant state of motion to position itself according to the laws. Why the laws in the first place? See, that's the entire thing that's holding me back from liking Limbus more. I very much like the Limbus story, but because I'm missing so much context, so much history of the city, how did everything was molded? And we're probably not going to get answers to that question as time goes on. I mean, like, to be fair, I'm expecting the history of the city to be discussed much later on when we get to know more about the outskirts, because that just feels like an equivalent exchange kind of thing. I mean, I get the story. No. Absolutely. I get the story. And I'm not criticizing the fact that I haven't had many questions so far. Like, sorry, the story's not finished. I do get that, but some relevant history would be appreciated. But from what I can tell, this is going to be a huge plot point going forward. So I'm not criticizing it. It's just something... Like, if you... sorry to come back to the Arknights thing once again, for, I don't know, the 10th time on Limbus streams, but I like Arknights because of the fact it sets up everything. So let's say, for example, I went through 4 or 5 chapters in some events, right? If I'm to compare it equivalently to the length of these cantos, it does give me some history about the nations the events are taking place in, some things that happened in the past that led to the current situation we are in right now, and how the situation is changing constantly, which will lead to further consequences in the future. But yeah, that's mostly it. We're getting answers slowly along the way, but we also get more questions. Of course, of course. It's a good narrative to slowly build up a repertoire of world building, knowledge, character interactions, and yeah. I think in one way it matches the flow of Limbus world. To be fair, things very unstable like flipping coin. Yeah. I don't mind the narrative, it's just it'll take a long time to get some answers for the history, because if I knew something, like at least some tidbits about history of some corporations, like for example, I very much liked K-Corp on how its own singularity came to be, and it was discussed and shown in Canto 4, how the founder of K-Corp, the current K-Corp at least, came to be. That's why I like Arknights more, because it will tell you a whole history when it's relevant. It might save some questions. Of course, I'm the same with Arknights. I have a lot of questions that are still going to go unanswered for multiple years to come, but at least it shows the history more to you, and you get to decide how you want to connect different dots, compared to here, where the plot is intentionally not showing the histories for the different corporations, how the city came to be, and other things like that. We only really ever get to see maybe a bit of the history through Lobotomy Corporation, but that requires you to play the other games, not Limbus Company itself. But some things in the very recent past, but if you go anything beyond that, nobody really looks in the present, and it feels like it's gonna be a huge plot point going forward. So I guess the only thing is I'm gonna be patiently waiting for that plot point to finally be discussed upon. And why the fuck is nobody thinking about the past for a bit? Or the history of different things?
그 목표를 향해 가는 방법도 그것에 맞춰 우리를 안내하고요.
And the route toward our destination will also change accordingly.
혹시 그 규칙이라는 것에 대해 정리되어 있는 건 없나요? 제 방에는 유모가 가문의 규칙이 적힌 종이를 붙여두곤 했어요.
My nanny used to stick a piece of paper with our family rules in my room. Not that I could follow them all, but a written list of all these laws. That's when I heard a door open. Whoever opened it did so with obvious irritation.
기억 후 파도가 왔었나 보네요.
The wave finally hit, huh?
그렇죠.
Ishmael? After such a long period of isolation, Ishmael staggered out of her room at last.
데오스의 규칙은 고작 노트에 몇 줄 적는다고 해결될 사소하고 간단한 내용이 아니에요. 데오스 자체의 규칙은 간단하지만 각 호수의 규칙은 전차만들.
Each lake has wildly different set of laws, even though the overarching laws governing the Great Lake are pretty straightforward.
애초에 허가 없이 데오스의 규칙에 대해 문자로 기록하는 것 자체가
It's hard to find
유사히 잘
motivation to
알려진 금기기도 하고요.
learn about your city history when you struggle to live under the day. I'm not really talking about that. I get the average person's perspective. I'm talking about more so the... I mean, to be fair, the corporations don't have much of a reason to care about that. I guess the most relevant place to discuss, or the most relevant entity in the story who would be caring about the history would be the head then. Because at least whenever a corporation falls or wing falls, they swipe up the singularity and take it with them. So none of the technology is lost. So when anything gets discussed on the head, maybe the outskirts, that's when a bit more of the history of the city would be expanded upon. You should know that unauthorized recording of the laws is one of the U-Corp's better known taboos. Unauthorized recordings of the... Wait, what the fuck do you mean? You can't even... Huh? You can't even record their laws? And the head's so secretive that's unlikely. True, but at some point in time, there would be a story about the head if Limbus Project Moon wants to continuously build upon this entire world, and that we went through Lobotomy Corporation, Library of Runa, now Limbus Company, now maybe another one. How did Mace put that? City forgot about its past to survive today, therefore abandoning its future. It's U-Corp's taboos mean it means you only get in trouble with U-Corp, to be fair.
그렇다면 몸에 새기면 되겠군.
Then my body will remember it.
만약 새긴다는 의미가 경험이 아닌 문신의 의미라면 그 또한 문제가 됩니다.
Oh, tattooing them on your body is also prohibited. I mean, true.
해당 사례로 유사의 금기 사냥꾼들이 파견된 적도 있으니까요. 모든 규칙은 구전으로만 옮겨지는 편이 안전합니다.
Any written... Okay. I see a logical flaw here. Any written records... Can you talk... If you can talk about it, that feels like a necessary part to just... That feels like an intentional attempt at keeping everybody in motion. And different zones having different laws. I feel like that's an intentional attempt at obfuscation about not many people knowing what's in there and minimizing the spread of knowledge about this. What have you been doing all this time, Ishmael?
작사를 갈고 있었어요.
Wetting my harpoon. Your harpoon? Why?
더 날카로워야 하니까요.
Because I needed to be sharper.
스치기만 해도 살아있다는 사실이 후회스러울 정도로 고통스럽게 만들어줄 거니까.
그럼 그냥 처박히긴 하지 왜 기어 나오는 건데?
Why don't you spare us from your misery and crawl back into your hole?
그대로 처박혀 있다간 녹아내려 흔적도 없어진 당신들을 구경할 것 같아서요. 별로 유쾌하지 않거든요. 그런 걸 또 보는 건. 그리고 후수에 대해 뭣도 모르는 사람들끼리 배를 주물럭거리면서 시간만 축내는 꼬락서니를 더는 못 봐주겠으니까.
Wasting precious time is unbearable. Even though it's been a long time since the incident at the boatworks, her biting yet anxious lectures have not dulled at all. And is afraid that she might stir up trouble among the sinners again. Okay, fine. But she was out here with the rest of us, and I wanted to believe that there was more than enough. I decided not to question her further.
이럴 줄 알았죠.
Ishmael walked up to the helm.
뭐 하는 거지? 이 배는 순항 중이다. 오히려 남쪽에서 불어오는 순풍의 영향으로
그렇게 보일 수도 있겠네요. 땅에서나 구르던 사람 생각이라는 건 그렇게 일차원적이고 뻔한 편이니까.
Simple, one-dimensional, predictable ground ponderers like you. Ah, looks like Ishmael is replying to Aldous with this trash talk style.
이 새끼가 지금 이 오티스에
Aldous, let's hear her out.
운이 좋군.
You got lucky, Swabby. Okay, Ishmael, tell us, how are we not smooth sailing? We've got the wind at our backs.
바람 때문이 아니죠. 우리는 끌려가고 있는 거예요.
We're getting dragged. Dragged by what?
저 배들에게로.
Those ships. Yeah, let me drink some water actually. Personally, I think PM tries to keep world building intentionally obscure to show how different people survive in this absurd world. I would say that is definitely a strength of this world then. Just like Ishmael said, 2 massive vessels were approaching us not far from where we were. We're not exactly on a collision course with them, though. Ishmael didn't entertain me with an answer. Instead, she took the helm and threw it wildly in one direction. Whoa!
이 기술은
The skill.
드리프트.
Splashy drift?
배에도 드리프트가 있었나?
카론 놀랐어. 좋아.
Karon impressed already, not bad.
신선해.
경쟁자가 생겼군, 카론.
You have competition. Virgilus was more concerned about Charon's competition.
아니, 잠깐만. 이상하군. 분명 방향을 꺾었는데도 왜 저 배들 사이로 우리 배가 이동하지?
Why are we still headed between those 2 ships?
뱃머리가 미동도 하지
It's
않아요.
like we're stuck on rails. The Ishmael turned the Mephistopheles' helm around the opposite direction of the 2 ships. We were getting dragged even faster by them, and there was nothing we could do about it.
이즈, 설마 전진 후진 레버를 반대로 당긴 건 아니지?
엔진은 껐어요.
I turned the engine off.
뭐?
배들이 합쳐지는 건가요?
Are those ships melding into one another?
야이 미친 새끼야! 지금 짜부라지게 생겼는데 그런 한가로운 감성이 나와?
어이 물개. 큰 소리를 그렇게 치더니 이제 어떻게?
좀 닥쳐요. 잡아당겨지고 있을 때를 최대한 이용할 거예요. 그리고
I'm going to use the momentum of the pull when it's strongest to get us out of here, and
부딪힌다.
지금
immediately before the crash, Ishmael deftly revved the engine and adjusted several levers in a series of decisive motions before speeding us between and past the 2 vessels.
뒤쪽이
Back of our ship. The ship's stern was crushed, but it was better than getting completely sandwiched between those 2 ships.
이 정도라면 며칠 내로 회복이 가능한 수준입니다.
Within the next few days, so it has a self-repair as well.
아니, 지금 보니까 이 파괴된 정도가 아니라 통째로 뽑혀 나갔는데?
마치 처음부터 그곳에 있지 아니했던 것 같소.
Oh! I took another look at where the stern used to be. It was, as the sinner said, the stern wasn't crushed. It was effectively deleted as though it had never been there. It left a bizarre-looking cross-section between.
유사의 특이점. 공명급세의 특징이죠.
Yeah, we saw that in 4.5, the second intervallo. So that's how it's being used. U-Corp Singularity, the resonance tuning fork.
이곳의 배들은 원래 하나였던 것처럼 서로 끌어당기며 합쳐지기도 하고 목적에 따라 언제 하나였냐는 것처럼 분리되기도 하니까요.
Hello Zerotech, welcome to the stream. How you doing? Hopefully you've been having a good day and continue to have a good time on the stream. Yeah, fair enough. As though they've never been part of the same ship. So it's the using of the ship and separating of the ship when needed.
저 정도 크기의 배들이 쓰는 공명급세 정도라면 우리처럼 공명급세가 없거나 주파수가 안 맞는 배들을 그대로 삼켜버리는 일이 빈번하죠.
Are strong enough to pull in smaller boats without tuning forks like ours, or even ones with tuning forks with mismatching wavelengths.
아, 이런. 명령이 내려지지도 않았는데 운전대를 잡게 되었네요.
Apologies for taking the helm without your orders, manager. Of course she's gonna be mocking that authority. No, don't. You just saved all of us our lives.
뭐 그러려던 건 아니긴 하지만요. 이해해 주신다니 고맙네요. 아, 시키지 않은 설명이 나오는 것까지 이해 좀 해주세요. 워낙 떽떽거리는 소리가 시끄러워서 배 한가운데에서 귀마개를 할 순 없잖아요.
It's not like I can plug my ears in the middle of a voyage.
전장에서 입이 거른 사람은 굴러다니는 돌멩이만큼 많았다.
She's not the first to do so.
실력만 뛰어나다면 그러는 걸 굳이 제지할 필요도. 없을 테지.
No need to get in the way, I suppose.
죄송합니다, 관리자님. 저는 잠시
I must take a short
잠시만
break.
휴식을 취하겠습니다.
What happened? How's this?
어찌 풀이 죽은 것이오? 대장 아니
Commander, I mean, it's good. Captain.
시끄럽다. 처음부터 대장은 저기 계신 관리자님이었어.
Always been. You may be disheartened by the defective state of many of your sinners, but do not worry, the sinner is one of the few who would carry out most missions without much complaint. Hello, Monochrome Liberator. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Hopefully you've been having a good day. Continue to have a good time on stream. Downcast and shoulders slumped, Aldous made her way into the ship cabins, formerly the bus cabins.
목적지에 거의 다 왔군요. 유사의 5대 항구 중 하나인 청새치 항구선입니다.
To be fair, that's the first half. She's likely to make reasonable judgments, so it's a good idea to start conversations while looking her way if you're seeking sound advice. Are you posting the entire thing, Monochrome? The Marlin Port. One of the 5 great ports of U-Corp. Faust's voice was dry and motionless, as though what had just happened didn't affect her one bit.
와, 정말 크네요. 지금까지 제가 보았던 배 중에 손에 꼽을 정도로 커다란 걸요?
One of the biggest ships I've ever seen. Hongli was right, we were approaching a massive ship, so large that it could almost be mistaken for an island. Whichever was the case, it was clear that the port was a megastructure built from countless metal shipping containers. However, you mustn't forget the sinner had survived an absurd voyage in a far and wide body of water. Her patience may run deep, but once you take a wrong turn with her, it'll be difficult to regain her trust. Ah, talk about trust, huh?
안개가 거치니 비로소 보이지 않던 것이 보이는구려. 이런 커다란 것까지 가릴 줄이야.
I scarcely did expect the pole to shroud a structure such as this.
배? 저 정도 규모면
Can we really call
이미
this a
배라는
ship at
이름을
this
벗어나
point?
보이는데.
Anyways, Canto 5 is hell. Can't help but agree there. Mishmal, does that count as a ship in the Great Lake?
대호수에서 자꾸 육지 상식을 꺼내봐야 소용없어요.
Your landman common sense is useless at the Great Lake.
불명급세를 쓴다면 저런 배는 밥 먹듯이 볼 테니까요. 아니, 고래고기 먹듯이라고 해야 할까요?
Ships that use resonance tuning fork like those are as common as crimes in the back street, though I guess as common as the whales in the Great Lake. Huh. Okay. Kidnappers! Very exciting. Alright, I can pick 6 people. You know what? I'll take Don.
훌륭한 믿게 될 수 있어.
I'll take Don since I don't really have any other tanks, to be fair.
만곡된 직선을 직선으로 질주하겠소.
자, 그럼 여기서 잠시 작별의 시간이군.
This is where we go our separate ways for a short while. What do you mean? Oh, is that the resonance tuning fork mark? Or is that just the U-Corp mark? I don't know.
나와 카루는 이 근처에서 볼 일이 있다.
Business to attend to here.
볼일? 왜? 또 무슨 일인데?
인어 향수나 살까 한다. 고 해두지.
Pretty sure the marks both. Ah, U-Corp logo styled after the singularity. Gotcha. The logo tends to be based on the singularity. And everyone else after this fish will have a special effect. Interesting. I'm looking to buy some mermaid perfume. Let's leave it at that. Mermaid perfume? Virgil said, looking straight at an advertisement before us. Bottles of mermaid perfume extracted straight from their left fins. Special discount.
우후, 우리 것도 사다 주는 것인가? 인어 향수라니. 호수에는 신기한 게 많군.
What are the curiosities of the Great Lake awaiting us, I wonder?
유사에는 고래와 인어를 이용한 상품들이 주 수입원으로 사용되고 있어요. 고래 기름, 인어 눈물, 인어 향수.
A significant source of income for the people of U-Corp comes from selling whale and mermaid products. Whale oil, mermaid tears, mermaid perfumes, whale cuisine and more, to list a few examples.
오, 저기에는 아이스크림 가게도 있는 것 같소.
Ice cream! Over yonder.
덩어리 고래맛 아이스크림. 아 정말 저런 게 먹고 싶은 거야.
A sardine whale flavored ice cream. How's that appetizing to you?
보기에는 이상해도 의외로 먹을만해. 정우리는.
Sardines are quite the savory nosh, even if they do have a funny look to them.
난 정어리 맛보다는 청새치 고래
I am more keen to learn the flavors of marlin whale ice cream.
길잡이께서는 이번에도 동행하지 않는 것이요.
Dear guide,
길잡이라는 것의 역할이 그런 거다.
I've done my job as your guide.
올바른 방향을 가리킬 뿐 그 방향으로 걸어가는 것까지는 소관이 아닌
It's
것이지.
not my job to accompany you all the way there.
틀리지는 않으나 벅청없이도 들려.
Your words are also come across as rather impersonal. Oh? 이상?
올바르게 들었어 이상. 내가 너희와 나눈 정도, 나눌 정도.
Nor do I want to. I think Virgilus. This is the first time Virgilus has clarified that extremely explicitly.
나참 이런 잡담이나 나누고 있으니.
Don't let these small talks give you the wrong impression.
파우스터 씨.
저희를 기다리는 분들이 계십니다.
Our allies are expecting
미리
us.
파견 나온 LCCB 직원들로부터 유사한 황금가지가 있는 로보토미 지부의
The
위치를
before team on the ground will relay us
전달받았습니다.
the location of the Lobotomy Core branch housing the Golden Bough.
전달받은 마지막 접선지 위치에 따르면 이쪽입니다.
They should be waiting for us there.
좀
Oh hey, are these the back streets of the container of U-Corp's port? Wait, this is inside a nest, right? Yeah, the back streets of U-Corp was something else. Right. I think. Because the entire area here is a... Wait, what the fuck would it be, a nest of U-Corp? Is it these great ports? Because I'm kind of curious. No, that's still the back streets. To be fair, U-Corp may be special case. Wait, so... Wait, where the fuck is the U-Corp's nest? Wait, are these ports all back street? All of the five great ports, so to speak? In many locations? That's what I want to know. Is there like a segmented thing in the ports itself? Is there like an underwater beneath the ocean base? Or is there like... Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I imagine either a part of the ship is part of the nest, or they have separate ships that are fully nests. Makes sense.
아무도 안 보이는데? 어떻게 된 거야, 파우?
The beach was a nest, but adjacent to the slums was actually similar place here. We only know so far that a part of the nest is on the shore, but not much more. Gotcha.
저를 의심스럽게 생각하시는 말투군요. 전달받은
This is the
장소는
location I was relayed.
이곳이었습니다.
그럼 이번에 우리가 먼저 도착한 건가? 피포 팀이라더니
More like belated team, innit?
하는 건 그래?
Of course, the British.
정확히 정정하자면 저희 쪽에서 1시간 30분가량 늦었습니다.
We arrived 1 hour and 30 minutes behind schedule.
이상. 지난번 제2사에서 만난 LCCB 대원들은
Yeah.
훨씬 전부터 대기.
I'm sure that comment reminded everyone of the same duo. It did for me too. Thinking about them even for a brief moment is...
기다림의 끝에 숙면을 취하기로 한 것 같다.
It appears they've elected to sleep in lieu of our appearance. Oh. Wow, okay. Fair. Hello, me Oscar. Welcome to the stream. How you doing? Hopefully you've been having a good day and continue to have a good time on the stream. Today's going to be a short one, only 2 hours and 45 minutes. Only 1 hour and 45 minutes more. A short 3-hour stream. But we are doing Canto 5. I just forgot I had to read Leviathan, or else I could have made an entire stream about Leviathan today. But alas. Today we had Arknight stream, but Arknight was not working, so I was like, ah, fuck it. I don't have that much time as well, so I'll just quickly do a Limbus stream. Effie, Saudi, we didn't deserve you to.
시간이 몇 시야? 아무리 그래도 너무 늦은 거 아니냐?
Ain't none of you got a watch.
아, 미안하오. 급히 향하다 예상치 못한 사고에 휘말리는 바람에.
그러면 그런 사고까지 예상해서 일찍 출발했어야지.
Why don't you take that into account if you're left? Someone from the corner of the shipping container rises from their nap and stretches. They sound oddly aggressive.
아이쿠 이런.
Honglu, wait.
경찰이 삐뚤어져 있잖아요. 단정한 매무새는 언제나 중요하니까요. 어라? 명찰에 질척거리는 게.
On his chest hung an upside-down LCC B agent badge. It was soaked in blood. So that was... okay, so that guy was killed.
명찰은 자극적인 효과를 위한 연출이었어. 자, 어디 뭐였더라? 림버스 컴퍼니.
Yeah, they don't look like it.
팀장.
Would you spend a night in the back streets? No.
겁도 없이 우리 구역에서 걸리적거리고 있더군.
볼품없는 연출이라 걸리적거리는데 뭐
Get to the point before I sink.
본론부터 말해.
어휴, 지각한 놈들이 성미는 또 급하네. 들어봐. 너희 황금 뭐를 찾고 있지?
Golden whatchamacallit.
그자를 어떻게 한 거지?
목숨은 잘 붙어 있으니까 염려는 마시고.
Lad's alive and well.
인질 협상을 하자는 거로군.
우리가 사람 가지고 한두 번 장사한 건 아니라서 말이야.
This ain't my first ransom rodeo, if you know what I mean.
간단해. 돈을 주면 당신 내 친구를 풀어준다.
You return your friend.
안 주면 친구께서는 이곳이 바로 관짝이 되어버리는 거지.
납치범이었냐? 더러운 자식들.
Pieces of shite.
잠깐. 자꾸들 성미가 급하셔. 말보다 몸이 먼저 나가시려는 분위기. 협상이 잘못될 경우에도 친구는 관짝행이야. 돈만 깔끔하게 주면 너희는 불련한 친구랑 황금 그 모시기를 찾으러 가시든가 하면 되는 거야. 쉽잖아.
Get back to finding a golden whatchamacallit. So, Bro got kidnapped. Our information of the plan was also leaked. What happened?
그럼 우리가 맛집은 풀코스로 알려줄게. 서비스로.
이 버러지가.
자자. 알았어. 그쪽이 말하는 바는 충분히 알았으니까 우리끼리 잠깐 얘기 좀 나눌게. 어?
괜히 우리가 여기서 눈에 띄게 행동해봐야 좋을 게 뭐가 있겠어. 섣불리 움직이다가 정말 납치된 LCCB 대원이 죽기라도 하면.
상황이 우리에게 불리한 건 사실이다.
They hold up a hand in this negotiation.
황금가지에 대해 자세히 알지도 못하는 것들이 무턱대고 돈이 될 것 같은
Kidnapped him by chance, thinking they could get a hefty ransom out of him. Imagine one falling off board.
지금껏 황금가지를 빼앗으려는 악인들은 많았지만 이렇게 무작정 강도질을 하는 자는 또 처음일세.
Such brazen villainy has heretofore not been encountered.
얄팍한 알맹이 없는 장난질이다.
Grotesquery without a cause.
섣불리 무기라도 휘둘렀다가는 파악되지 않은 저놈의 동료. 더 크게 보자면
Maybe involve the powerful local syndicate.
쫓기게 되겠지.
Ooh, okay, we're finally talking about syndicate.
유사에 대한 정보가 거의 없는 우리에게는 상황이 상당히
A
불리해진다.
chance of victory is slim should such an event come to pass. We do not possess enough intel on you to effectively maneuver that situation.
그러게 조직의 크기가 얼마나 될지도 모르겠고.
We don't even know how big the
대사를
syndicate behind this guy is.
도 아니어 보였지?
This probably isn't his first time doing this, right?
그런 거라면 규모가 작은 조직일 수도 있다는 거 아닌가요?
There's also a chance that they're just small fries, isn't it?
규모가 작으면 그냥 싹 다 조지면 끝날 일이잖아. 인질을 처리하기도 전에.
We'll hit them before they even have the chance to lay a finger in the hostage.
아니, 그 말대로 규모가 크지 않더라도 또 다른 골칫거리가 될 수 있다.
No, it could all mean the syndicate may be so small and scattered that it is impossible to be traced. Wow. Hello, Fire Gaming. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Hopefully, you've been having a good day. Continue to have a good time on stream. Don't mind me. We're doing a short stream today, just 1 hour and 40 more minutes, and then I'll have to attend a wedding tonight. So yeah. So if you don't know anything, great.
정말로 저희가 돈을 안 주면
Are they really going to if you don't pay off?
진짜 저런 것들을 수틀리면 죽인 후의 시체도 영원히 못 찾게. 어딜 가나 있는 더러운 버러지들.
Even find a little body, wouldn't even leave a body for us to find. All kinds of awful images and ominous speculation began to almost. The so-called kidnappers were crowding amongst themselves, giggling and chattering. They knew that our options were limited. Eat as much food as you can. Out of every bite. Okay, then I'm going to start off by asking how much they want. We're out of our element here. Bruh. No, not really. I'm just like, I'm mostly just going there because our family was invited. Somebody in our neighborhood is getting wed, so our family was invited. So we're just going there for dinner. That's it. That's it. I'm just going there to have a good dinner. That's it. A short, exasperated sigh escaped Ishmael's lips. She had been standing here this whole time, arms crossed over the harpoon that rested upon her chest.
돈을 주겠다? 저것들한테요? 기어이 미치신 거죠?
Are you crazy? What else can we do? Even now, the hostage...
변명은 관심 없고요.
I don't care about your excuses.
이게 관리자님이 내리신 최선의 판단 맞아요?
I only care to know if this is really the best course of action so you can come up with.
판단에 대한 의심은
불필요하다. 네?
You are as predictable as always.
판단은 곧 명령이다. 의심은 곧 불복이고.
To doubt them is insubordination.
네놈이 얼마나 뛰어난 물개든 간에.
뭐 그럴 수도 있고요. 나한테 직접 해라 말라 하는 말 없었으니 상관없다고 생각하는데.
They did not give me an order. They didn't forbid me from doing anything. So what's your problem here?
도저히 이대로는 참을 수가 없어서.
I just can't sit here and watch this play out. Ishmael strode towards the kidnappers. It was plain from her tone and expression she did not care one bit about what the other sinner said.
명령 불복종에 대한 처벌은
She shot me a fleeting glance before raising her harpoon.
편하실 때 내려주세요.
For insubordination, manager. Well, she's naive here, Dante. It's her Canto. Let her have her screen time, Dante. Then thrust her well-sharpened harpoon right into one of the kidnappers' forehead. The entire course of her action, from start to finish, was so full of absolute confidence that no one even thought to stop her. I couldn't either. Oof. Yeah, she was right. The kidnapper suffered a total obliteration of forehead. To obliterate... What? Total obliteration of forehead.
이스마일 씨,
What did you just...
무슨 짓을 하신 거예요?
Sinclair was the first to snap out of this stupefied silence.
이러면 인질로 잡혀있다는 LCCB 대원이 화를 당할 수도 있잖아요. 저희 때문에.
Sinclair was trembling hard. I couldn't tell if it was the welling tears he was holding back or an uncontrollable fury.
그때처럼 에피 씨와 소드 씨처럼 불과 몇 달 전일 뿐이었어요.
Oh. Okay. Isn't Shotgun Ryushi's skill 3 called Oof? Oh, you know what? Great reminder, Meowscarada. I just noticed. Hold up. Sinclair's memories? I saw an image of Saudi and Effie both smiling. Both were excellent field agents. But because they were both excellent agents, they suffered to their last moments before our eyes, helplessly watching as they slowly expired in front of him at his old home. That day must have been scorched into his memories. I recalled Ishmael's vision that I witnessed back at the boatworks. Was that also a moment that was burned into her memories, I wonder? Ishmael didn't seem to find Sinclair's questions worth answering. She strode towards one of the closed shipping containers and kicked it open. A body that had been dead for so long that its complexion and consistency barely resembled that of a human being. Living human slumped to the floor. Yeah, I knew it. They had fucking killed the guy first, then they'll pretend to ask for a ransom. This is... Bro, this is the fucking backstreets. What else did you expect? But to be fair, we're a new company, so...
이건 일주일 정도 됐네요. 당연히 LCCB 대원은 아니고요.
Oh, isn't our LCCB agent? Ismail kicks the body, tossing it on its back.
옷을 보아하니 이곳 청새치 항구로 놀러온 관광객들이네요. 호수에서 관광을 다닐 정도면 부자라는 소리 좀 듣고 살았을 텐데 돈을 보내지 못할 리는 없었겠죠.
They would have been able to afford whatever ransom the pirates demanded. Ah, it's the pirates!
납치, 협박, 살인 이런 조직은 모습만 조금씩 바뀔 뿐 오래전부터 유사 이곳저곳에 뿌리 내려져 있었어요.
They're everywhere like we're... Ah, kidnap, extort, execute.
오히려 여기서는 해적이라고 부르는 게 더 맞는
It would be
표현이죠.
more accurate to call them pirates here.
인지를 돌려줄 것처럼 계속 돈을 요구하다가 상대에게 더 이상 뜯어낼 게 없을 때
Ishmael poked the body with a foot,
이런 식으로 죽이는 거죠.
like they did this one in...
한두 번이 아닌 듯하네만. 어째서 이런 일들이 당연하다는 듯이 벌어지는 것인가?
Put a stop to these villains. Well, apparently, unfortunately, there are not that many heroes.
이곳은 관광지 아니었던 겐가?
이런 경우엔 보통 엄청나게 든든한 뒷배가 있는 경우가 많겠지.
That usually means there's a bigger fish looking out for these small fries.
그것이 도대체 무슨 관계가 있다는 말이오? 이런 악인들이 도시를 굴러다니는데 아직 도시의 해결사들이 이 사실을 모르는 것이 틀림없어. 그렇지 않다면 빈곤한 자가 많아
No,
의뢰하지
they're perfectly
못했거나.
aware. The air defying.
지금이라도 정의로운 협회에 서신을 보낸다면
제발 돈키호테 씨. 아직도 그 정의와 악인 타령이에요? 현실이 그렇게 안 보이나요?
I've had enough of your ramblings about justice, you villains.
아니야. 아니, 그냥 말하지 마요. 어차피 먹히지도 않을 거. 답답하니까 자꾸 말하게 되네.
It's so frustrating to just have to sit here and
항상
just...
이딴 식이니까 일이 자꾸 늦어지기만 하잖아.
The shabbiness is why we can't get anything done in time.
지금쯤이면 만나기로 한 LCCB 대원에게 정보를 얻고 있었어야 했는데.
Shimel's eyes darted around with wrath and patience and anxiety. A metaphorical storm, an amalgamation of senses. She was billowing wildly and helplessly in the tempest. I could not even hope to hold her steady.
너희가 자초한 거야. 이 근방은 다 우리 구역이라고. 우리 조직
올 거면 그냥 빨리 오세요.
Then let's get it over with. Oblivious Dawn. What is this? Oh! Okay. Compulsion. Encounter starts with -25. At less than 0 SP at turn start, gain 3 attack. Bro, I find that status effect fucking fun. Give it a negative ID. Now that's the one funny status effect. If only she had a negative ID. That is definitely one funny status effect, not gonna lie. For sure.
불길 속으로. 그 오물을 떼어내주지.
Pirates decimated. Yeah, that's a extremely good effect for a negative ID. That's what I'm saying. It's just done with things. Yeah, I can go with that one.
당신 짝패군요. 3월.
Now, wow.
빈틈투성이군. 빈틈투성이군.
Hey.
불길 속으로.
Zoe Mill. Ah, Zoe Association Defense-ish Mill, right. And that's a great tank ID. Literally. So I've heard. So I've heard. Alright. Got to take attention to that.
잘근잘근 씹어버리겠네. 지키기 위해서.
나도 지킬 게 많거든.
Fucking eliminated? Bro is eliminated? Hey, let's go.
나가리판이네. 다음.
Now we don't have the 2 attack power up, so that's good.
불길 속으로. 바람 불어오는 대로 짓밟아라.
For some reason in Limbus, tank ID also deals a bunch of damage. Fair enough.
지키기 위해서. 나도 지킬 게 많거든. 나도 지킬 게 많거든.
예전보다 많이 나아진 것 같다.
Hey.
나도. 그러고 보니까 그 환상체
Setting sail, the laws, the resonance tuning fork, kidnappers, and insubordination. That's gonna be interesting to go through. I'll be right back actually. Just need to take a quick piss break. We're back. We're back. Clash mechanic. Tank IDs must have strong clashes to have an opportunity to deal damage, and clashing is the primary defense mechanic. Therefore, every damage dealer is also a tank. Interesting. Anyways, hello, welcome. Welcome? Who am I welcoming? Nobody. I shall only go ahead with Tanky Don, an ideal horse. And when need be, Nairo Despair Rodia doing the horse shenanigans. Skill 3. Yeah, should be fine.
당신 짝패군요.
Free attack up. Right. That should be it. And I'll go with the right one.
빈틈 투성이군. 스켈레터. 허술하군.
그 오늘을 떼어내주지.
스켈레터.
It's gonna be interesting fighting these what's it called? Pirates with this. There's 2 waves of them, of course. Yay! Finally, Rodia gets to act. For Sakara. Alright, let's go. Bye.
당신 짝패군요. 사물. 앵화.
Let's go.
자세가 모르겠니? 자비에 감사하다.
Spinning dawn attack. Bleed. Right, let's continue struggling. No worries. Why struggle? You can ask. I got reminded of a cringe laugh. Where have I heard this? Maybe it's just in my brain. Bro, I got reminded of a line. I don't know if this is. I feel like I've heard this before, but my brain just modified it. The sentence was, "Why struggle when you can hustle?" Which is just like, what? Sorry, what? Though I do have a, admittedly, I do have a tendency of, what's it called? I do have a tendency of thinking of random sentences on the fly. And torn piece of them away. Oh yeah, I think I know about that.
그러니까 지금이라도 적당히 용서를 잠깐 왜 자꾸 말을 끊는 거야?
아, 그거 잘 됐네.
Well, that's convenient.
보스가 있으면 여기서 지지부진하게 시간 까먹기나 하고 있지 않아도 되겠네요.
Let's start wasting our time here.
이 컨테이너들은 셀 수도 없이 많고 그걸 하나씩 억지로 열어가며 썩어가는 시체 냄새를 맡을 필요도 없고.
Mountains of rotting corpses. Yes, I remember the time that was bugged for infinite nom-noms.
한 손 정도는 움직일 수 있죠?
It's still pointer, right?
살려줘.
보스가 있는 곳, 이 지도에서 손가락으로 위치 찍어요.
I wasn't sure when she picked it up, but Ishmael was carrying a travel brochure of Marlin Port. She shoved it in the pirate's face, who struggled for a moment before pointing to a location on the map. As soon as her trembling finger reached the paper, Ishmael way.
갈 곳 나왔네요. 가죠.
Ishmael walked out, leaving nothing but shipping containers full of both old and fresh bodies behind.
여기서 우리가 만나기로 한 LC12 직원이 살아있어.
저들이 우리에게 가지고 있는 돈벌이에 대한 기대감에 따르.
Depends on how rich they think we are.
죽어 있을 수도 있겠네.
He could already be dead then.
죄악의 경우 시체라도 찾아야 해요. 뭐라도 나올 테니까.
That'll at least give us something.
이렇게 해서
If
결국
that's all we
마주하는
find
게
at the end of this.
그분의 싸늘한 시체뿐이라면 전 용서 못할 것 같아요.
저를요?
아니요. 구하기 위해
No,
어떤
us.
노력도 해보지
Who didn't
못한
even try to save them. Faust,
듣고 있습니다.
should we do something? Is she going to be okay? I mean, Ishmael.
명령 불복종에 대한 것인지 수감자의 감정 상태에 대한 것인지
I can give you answers regarding her subordination and her emotional state.
이런 상황에서 파우스트의 추론은 별다른 도움이 되지 못하겠죠.
But this is not a matter in which Faust's answers can be of most
저런 명령
assistance.
불복종과 단독 행동은 동서고금 즉결 처분의 대상이었습니다, 관리자님.
Would have resulted in on-the-spot execution in any other organization.
수감자를 처분할 권한이 없으시다는 건 알고 있지만 그에 준하는 처벌은 향후 관리를 위해 필요하다고 조언드리고 싶군요.
But there must be penalties befitting her actions for proper management. Otis, you're always on my side. Pretty much always now that I think about it.
저도 한때 몇몇 부하들을 이끌었던 입장으로서 관리자님의 심경을 충분히
I
헤아릴
can
수 있으니까
sympathize with your troubles. Man, I really want to know what's Otis's deal. I don't know if I can manage Ishmael anymore. I just don't. It looked like she was acting rash. Maybe it was. Maybe she knew the right thing to do in this scenario. If Ishmael suddenly decides to quit or something, Faust will doubtlessly proceed to educate me on the various clauses that prevent Ishmael from quitting. But it's not like I could force her to come along should this hostility escalate. Besides, she had already acted without my orders earlier. She did say that she'd follow my orders, but I wasn't sure how long that would last.
그게 무엇이 중요합니까, 관리자님?
That doesn't matter.
10이라는 숫자가 어긋나는 건 부수적인 문제입니다.
We don't need there to be 12 sinners. Are you saying that we leave Ishmael?
저는 아주 먼 곳으로부터 오랫동안 떠돌다 이곳에 왔습니다, 관리자님. 입사 계약서에 적혀있던 조건 그 한 줄만 보고 말입니다.
I have wandered for many years in far, far lands before making my journey here, and I have done so with steadfast determination, but a single clause on my contract with the company.
그 목적을 위한 여정에서 발생하는 고난과 갈등, 더 나아가서 전우들의 이탈 같은 부수적인 요소들은 충분히 각오하고 있던 부분이었습니다. 오히려 당연한 요소일 것입니다.
I expect all of them to happen at some point in our journey. I came ready to face all the hardships the journey entails. I'm just going for the one sinner strands.
물론 관리자님과는
Oh, I'll always Man, the military personnel glazing is something else. She smoothly added the last part, but there was a growing suspicion in the back of my mind that maybe not everyone's felt a sense of belonging from this group. Maybe I was the only one who sought a sense of belonging from them, that we'd fight as one no matter what ordeal this journey threw in our way. Maybe. Who knows?
도박장죄로 의뢰를
Hey.
냈다 싶더니
Nice.
이렇게나 밑장 빼는 놈들이
The club.
한둘일 줄이야.
Hey!
한 달은 의뢰 없이 놀아도 되겠는데요?
마지막까지.
I think I might have a feeling where we are going. I might have a feeling with all those hair coupons. Oh, bloody hell. I might have a feeling where we're going. The location is marked by the pirate's blood led us to the entrance of a club. Faint music could be heard echoing out from behind the doors. It's full bass, huh? So, this is the place?
우리 중에 이런 요란한 클럽 가본 사람?
Any of us have been to a loud, flamboyant, deluxe dance club like this?
굳이 우리 중에 고르자면은
My bet would be on you.
사람이 없어 보이는데.
그거 편견이야. 우리 뒷골목에는 이렇게 화려한 술집은 거의 없었어.
Come on, a flashy bar like this at my back street?
장사가 잘 될 리가 없었잖아. 그치?
I doubt it would have had much business back there, huh?
뭐 뒷골목에서 몰래 벌이는 파티 같은 건 있었지만 그럴 때마다 소냐가
But Sonya
매번
somehow
귀신같이
always caught
알아채서
on.
잡아왔었지.
So, why are we talking about this?
모르겠어, 단테? 입구에 경호원들이 있잖아.
Bouncers at the gate.
몇 명이서 오셨죠?
How many do you have with you today?
2명. 섭섭하네. 나 기억 안 나?
I'm on the list.
죄송합니다. 확인했습니다.
저것 봐. 뭔가 쑥덕거리면서 물어보잖아. 자연스럽게 저걸 뚫어야 한다는 건데.
We gotta squeeze in there all smooth somehow.
그럼 그 다음으로 많이.
Since Rodia's out, next in the line is.
뭐야? 나? 무슨 말 같지도 않은 소리야? 죽을래?
나라면 어느 정도는 칭찬으로 받아들일 것 같은데.
I'd take that as a compliment if I were you.
그런가?
Bro was about to blow off, then he was like, should I?
뭐 기다릴 게 버리게 되어서 아쉽지만 난 좀 더 피와 땀과
And more
의리가
about
섞여
blood,
있는
loyalty,
그런
things
조직
like that.
출신이라서
Was
말이야.
it like a small time syndicate?
아쉽지만 저런 삐까번쩍한 곳보다는 허름한 탁자에서 마시던 낡은 술집이 내겐 더 가까워.
I'm more of a small watering hole or an old pub bloke from a fancy clubber getting sloshed, drinking from old rickety tables. Yeah, that's more like it.
나
Me.
음악과 함께 울려 퍼지는 비명들, 피범벅 벽지, 꺾여 있는 관절로 춤을 추는.
That's the scene you wanna make, huh? Screams of fear and pain, deluxe waltz pavement, the red with blood dance, people with crushed joints forced to
그런
dance.
거는 클럽이 아니야.
That's not a club.
역시 아무도 없는 건가?
가보았다.
I have been to such a club. Huh? More assault? You?
다소 자주.
Quite. Wait, what? Random, huge more assault Lord Rob?
농담이지.
Bro choked on a cigarette. Morsel, stay off the dance floor. Morsel does that in the book too, I think. Morsel does a freak in the novel death.
농담이 아니다. 왜 그렇게 생각하는지 모르겠군.
I'm not. I fail to see why that is difficult for you to say. Except.
인생에서 즐길 거리를 찾으러 돌아다닐 무렵에 방문한 곳 중 하나일 뿐이다.
Brother, you had such a face? It was merely one of the places I visited when I used to wander in search of life's joys. What joys are we talking about, my man?
저 클럽의 절차를 관찰해보니 프라이빗 클럽으로 보인다. 프라이빗 클럽은 방문하기 전 입구에 서 있는 문지기들의 허가를 받아야 입장이 가능하다.
Like, there's so many things Morsalt says that you just wouldn't expect of him. A cursory observation of the procedures reveals that it is in fact a private club, and as a general rule, visitors must receive the bouncer's permission prior to entry.
문지기들은 대체로 평균 이상의 덩치를 소유하고 있었으며 무기 또한
And are
소유하고 있다.
likely to be armed.
이들 사이를 무사히 지나가려면
일반적인 클럽이라면 그게 맞는 말이겠지만
You'd be right if this was just any other club.
이스?
Ishmael walked past us and up to the club entrance.
이곳은 조직의 보스가 있는 공간. 당연히 일반적이지 않은 방식으로 입장하지 않는 방식도 있을 테고.
What are the other ways of entering this establishment?
그 답도 조직원에게 있겠죠.
And I'm sure the answer lies with the syndicate member. And Morsalt also goes unnoticed till he pops out of nowhere and starts a full-on yap fest.
단순하지 않나요?
Easy enough.
어떻게 오셨죠?
저는 퀵해그의
Quickegger's friend.
네가 뭐라고?
퀵해그 그
Quickegger.
이름을 알고 있겠죠?
You recognized that name, didn't you? At the mere mention of that name, the bouncer's expression changed from that of indifference to disbelief.
잠깐.
Oh, he's talking on the radio. The bouncer whispers something into the radio. Is he really going to let us in?
당신이 정말 키키그의 친구라는 건가?
Are you truly a friend of this Kikwig?
그렇다면요.
What if I am?
지금 어디지?
Where is Quikwig?
보스께서 물어보신다.
It's the boss asking.
그러니까 당신들 보스가 지금 이 안에 있다는 거네요.
다시 한번 묻는다. 키키그. 우리 쌍갈고리가 향하는 중. 다시 말한다. 우리 쌍갈고리가.
The twin hooks are on our way. I repeat. I thought we were trying to sneak in.
아니요. 이 안에 조직의 보스가 있는지 확인할 방법일 뿐이었죠. 대가리가 가장 많은 정보를 알고 있을
We should be
테니
able to get all the
가장
intel we
빠르고
want from
확실하죠.
them. Okay. But hey, we're still fighting pirates.
일기당천.
Man, I'm patiently waiting for the beta test access, because if I can get the beta test access to Enfield, that would be fucking brilliant, I tell ya. It would be fucking brilliant, mate. Because I can finally do something that I wanted for 9 months now, which is playing Enfield. So I have 2 more chances. Tomorrow, and then the day after tomorrow. So a chance at the beta test access for beta test 2. Where's the Canto for OST? I have no clue. Is that not supposed to happen? I thought we were outside. I thought we were outside the club. That's why it's happening.
허술하군.
Also, I think I am going to start editing some key moments from my streams going forward, just because why not? More fair.
일기당천.
그 오물을 떼어내주지.
바람 불어오는 대로 짓밟아.
Right, another one. And... Right, that should be good.
속으로.
Now look at Cole, she just upgraded it in player. Wait, did she?
차라리
104!
나도 누군가에겐 아껴졌고
3코.
Well,
자세가 모르겠니? 자비의 감사도.
oh, she's just upgraded Enclave. I thought, wait, what are you talking about? How does she buff Enclave? She's just upgraded Enclave. No, I can see it. I can definitely see it. There's this priority man. Priority guy, I guess. Hey.
씹어버리겠네.
자세가 모르겠니? 자비의 감사도.
하나 넘고
Haunts.
둘 넘고
The ideal haunts.
너도 누군가에게 나도 지킬 게 많거든.
I'm gonna charge real quick.
예전보다 많이
Fair
나아진
enough.
것 같다. 나도. 그러고 보니까 그 환상체 이제 가호를 내려준 아이가 없어졌지.
Club 2.
다시
Nice.
관리를 맡겨주실 거.
불로
Let's go.
정화하고 깨끗한
Only
세계를
one hour
세우라.
more in the stream left.
와, 어느새 문지기님들이 길을 비켜주셨네요.
Can't believe they're letting us in like this. Let's go. I wanted to correct him that the bouncers weren't letting us in, that they were either face down in some ditch or fleeing, and we were just letting ourselves in. But I guess I wasn't in the mood.
몇 명이서 오셨어?
You're with anyone?
13명이서 왔습니다.
Yes, I have 12 companions with me.
열?
저기 있다.
Twin Hook Pirates? Get him!
잘못했습니다. 자, 이제 저희 항구에서 유행하는 춤을 춰볼까요? 이름하여 청사주 댄스.
Marlin Dance by Marlin Poe.
팔을 뻗고 이렇게 후루타 후루타.
아이 진짜 왜 이렇게
What's up with all this booing bass? It feels so sad. The sound waves are vibrating my entire brain matter.
다 앞에서 꺼지세요. 다치고 싶지 않으면.
Ishmael swung her mace, shattering a nearby table to pieces. And that was more than enough for the clubbers to realize the seriousness of the situation. They quickly ran to the exit and vacated the club. Hey, we're in the club now.
빠르게 처리하지.
I like how there's a spotlight on some people.
떼어내주지. 다 죽어라.
Alright. One more. Rodia. That should be good.
잘근잘근 씹어버리겠네.
Asuna's almost stronger than average quarter of the city, but yeah, they are the bottom and mid. I see.
좋아. 빈틈
Attack
주지.
power down.
여기가 허술하군. 자비의 감사도.
Alright, let's go. Yep, we'll do that first. This get
당신
two.
복잡해군요.
하나 넘고 둘 넘고 거꾸로 제쳐라. 좋아.
차 잘근 잘근.
Nice.
올인이었나요?
Hey, I've had this happen before where Ishmael will kill the guy, then she'd get Kozan up, and then the turn ends. Which is why I should save it and go to the next turn. And now she'll only trigger Kozan after I use both of his skills in the dashboard right now. Which is awesome, you know? I first noticed it, like, I'd say, in an EXP
당신 짝패군요.
stage.
비가
Huh.
아메스코.
So she activated the yellow. Gotcha. Interesting. She activated the Kozan after one skill activation. Wonder what's the requirements for Kozan then? Because in that EXP stage, it was, what's it called? It triggered only after she used both of his skills. I'm not gonna be surprised if it was just a Limbus bug. Random little Limbus bug. Actually, yes. Keep up Isang's thingy. Come on now. Nope. Yes.
빠르게 처리하지.
F5 was your count after his skill. Gotcha.
허술하군. 자비에 감사하다. 여기가 네 약점인가?
다 죽어라. 나도 지킬 게 많거든.
Woohoo! We are just performing the jobs of a professional party crasher.
수습이 늦어지면 여기서 살아남은 게 다
Limbus company style. The club.
불로 정화하고
3.
깨끗한 세계를 세우라.
True, I remember that much. Alright, Rodia, Isang. Activate both of your defenses. Guys.
빠르게 처리하지.
좋아. 코이.
Now another one.
당신 짝패군요.
Be right back in 15 minutes. Alright.
그 오물을 떼어내주지.
Well. Gregor lost the flash. Interesting.
빈틈투성이군.
너도
Comes the flash
누군가에게
counter.
낚여졌겠지만
Alright. Now let's go ahead. Actually, save his skill.
불길
3.
속으로
Roger. Sinclair stop.
꺾고 제쳐라.
지키기 위해서 지킬 게 많거든.
Hey, Kozan. 3 attack buff is nice.
3월.
Now Isang can activate, and Rodia can activate skill 2 twice. And fucking obliterate the competition. That's what she'll do. Struggling because he has positive SP.
빈틈투성이군.
Enclair could sit on a minus 44 SP and he'll still find a way to put 3 heads.
허술하군.
True.
빈틈투성이군. 벤튼 수상해.
차라리
166. Just casual damage, you know?
아무것도 남지 마라.
This is the first time I've seen the full animation of skill 3, by the way. Just saying, this is the first time I've seen the full animation of skill 3 for skill 3 too for Rodia. Because she just didn't get a chance to use a skill beforehand. Actually, do that. Yes.
당신 짝패군요.
Hello, Labrys Dynasty. Welcome to the stream. How you doing? Hopefully you've been having a good day and continue to have a good time on stream. Glad to see you're alive. Except that wasn't the full skill 3-2. I'm back to watch you suffer. Well, I don't think you'll get much content from me because I'm going to be ending stream in 15 minutes. Very short stream today. Because I'm going to need to attend a wedding and eat dinner and then come back home. That's why.
예전보다 많이 나아진 것 같다. 나도.
5-9, the first mate.
그 환상체 이제 가오를
Yeah, sure.
내려준 아이가 없어졌지. 다시
Spend one
관리를
box.
맡겨주실까?
발광할 시간인가?
Alright, I want your skill 1, lady. I mean, actually, since it says skill 3 is already available, I don't think I'll be able to. It'll be a while before you can see something actually survive to see the full skill 3-2 animation. Gotcha. Fair enough then. I mean, the only other thing I can really think of is like bosses. But even then it's like, eh. I can think of someone. Force tank support passive are good. Let me read that actually. I have not been reading the support passives for our people. But where is... No. 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 Gain 1 line breaker when meeting one of the following conditions. When this unit's speed is faster than the target's by 2 or more. When this unit triggers Tremor Burst twice in its skill. This unit wins a clash while having Strider. Ah, that's his passive, gotcha. That's his normal passive. Okay, so are you referring to the support passive? Support passive being active, yeah, right. That's his normal one. Head of Vanguard. No, yeah, that's the support one. Apply the following effect the highest to one ally with the highest XP. Speed difference between this turn and last turn times 2 with defense level. If the affected unit is 50% HP, less than 50% HP, heal 50 HP. Heal 50 HP. Ah, nice. Yeah, he's nice. He's nice.
잘근잘근 씹어버리겠네.
A nice durability extender, definitely. He's given some nice bit of survivability. Alright, 1 left. Never mind me. It's just a normal thug. I'm not gonna be wasting stuff on the guy.
빠르게 처리하지.
Hey, done one.
위해서.
사물. 앵화.
너도 누군가에게 맡겨졌겠지. 지킬 게
허술하고
많거든.
자비에 감사하고.
There are 2 turns, right? Yeah. And then I can keep saving the skill, because yes.
일기당천.
나도 지킬 게 많거든. 나도 지킬 게 많거든.
Move on to next turn. Now trigger skill 3. Maybe not on the poor bastard actually.
불길 속으로.
Let's go. Sinclair lost. Let's go.
좋아. 코이코이.
Ah, only 4. Yeah, it's fine. 3 attack power up. Again, only 1. Then I'll do this. He's still attacking the guy that's about to be flipped off, so let's not. Hold on. Huh.
일기당천.
그 오물을 떼어내주지.
AT Fatality.
좋아.
사물. 앵화.
And the pirate guy being too
지키기 위해서.
protection back there.
나도 지킬 게 많거든.
Damage rate his ass.
일기당천. 하나 넘고 둘 넘고.
I'm a victim of my own success. Captain Ishimo wants me to keep him doing
좋은 말 할
depressing.
때 당신들 대장이 있는 방이
You better tell us where your
말하는
post
게
is before
좋을
things get
거예요.
ugly.
어울리지도 않는 놈이 그렇게 말해봐야.
Laddie.
헛소리 아니에요. 다음에도 말이 안 통하면 다음으로 깨지는 거
Sinclair trying to act tough. Or the next thing getting smashed is your
머리통이에요.
your skull.
알았어, 진정해. 선장은 여기 없어. 대신 부선장님이 계시니까 그분이 알고 계실 거야.
The first mate should know.
어디인데요?
저쪽 복도 마지막 방.
First mate and
가세요.
go.
그쪽 말고
Get out of this club.
미안.
야, 너 뭔가 늘었는데?
You're getting better at this. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised bro actually got scared. Alright, let's go.
이런 걸로 칭찬 듣고 싶지 않아요.
I didn't want to get complimented for doing something like this.
조금이라도 빨리 구해야 한다고 생각했을 뿐이에요.
We have to get to the hostel as soon as possible.
예전보다 많이 나아진 것 같다. 나도. 그러고 보니까 그 환상체 이제 가호를 내려준 아이가 없어졌지.
Damn, that's a selfish SP mechanic.
다시 관리를
The
맡겨줄
first
수
mate, too.
발광할 시간인가?
I feel like I'm probably gonna reach the end of part 1 by this stream.
요란스럽기도 해라. 어느 선장이 보낸 거야? 아니면 내 목에 또 그새 현상금이
Or are you looking to
붙었나?
collect my head for the bounty? Oh. Huh. Certainly made a mess out there.
당신이 여기 보스야.
Say about the boss here?
그래? 내가 쌍갈고리 해적단의 부선장
mate of the Twin Hook
스미야?
Pirates. Ah, the Twin Hook Pirates.
날 보고 싶어 했다며? 뭐 사인이라도 해줄까?
Want an autograph?
당신은 2인자라고 들었다.
We were last informed that you were the second in command.
우리는 보스를 원한다. 그는 어디 있지?
We seek your superior. Tell us of their whereabouts.
후크 그놈은 어디서 또 요정주나 마시고 있겠지.
That asshat has to be drowning on bottles of fairy wine somewhere. 3 sheets to the wind.
그러니까 실질적으로 내가 이곳을 지배하고 있는 거라 봐도 무방해.
De facto no, you know.
그리고 이 항구에선 고작 향수 사업만 하기엔 돈이 좀 모자라잖아. 그래서 이것저것 부업들 좀 해보고 있었지. 그걸 시킨 것도 나고.
A purely business decision devised by none other than yours truly. Peter Pan references.
이해했다. 너는 우리가 원했던 정보를 갖고 있겠군.
So you must have the information we
우린
seek.
너희 조직이 확보한 것으로 보이는 인질의 행방을 찾고 있다. 그 정보를 내놓아라.
Bro, it's so straightforward. In search of certain individual held hostage by this establishment, hand over their information regarding his whereabouts.
인질이라니 말 너무 험악하게 한다.
If you prefer to call him a guest.
손님이라고 부르는데.
손님이요?
응. 자, 그럼 우리 교환하자.
How about a deal? Why do I feel like I've heard this voice actor before? Who is it? I feel like I've heard her voice before in one of the earlier Cantos.
퀵해그에 대한 정보를 나한테 넘겨. 그럼 내가 너희 쪽 손님을 안전하게 내보내줄게.
And I'll see to it that the guest you're looking for is safely returned.
심지어 꽤 거물이신 손님이던데. LC 뭐
Something team leader.
팀장이라고 했으니까 그쪽에 퀵해그에 친구가 있었댔지?
Friend of Quake Queen, right?
퀵해그에 대해 알고 있는 걸 전부 말해.
Quake Queen.
지금 어디서 뭘 하고 있는지, 주위에 만나는 사람은 누구인지, 제일 최근에 남겼던 말이
Want to hear all of
무엇인지
it.
전부.
Well, we ain't really gonna be telling you shit. Yuri voice actress? Is it?
누가 이 거래에서 유리한지는 말 안 해도 알지?
Oh, okay. That's why I felt it was familiar. Hello, Boot. Welcome to the stream. How do you doing? How you doing? Hopefully you've been having a good day and continue to have a good time on stream. Only streaming for 39 more minutes. You come, you've arrived at the right time.
정말 말할 수
I wish I could
있었더니.
tell you. I really do. Well, here's the fight, I guess. That's sure.
당신 짝패군요.
Lila from Genshin. I have no clue who the hell that is. As you can see, I do not play any of the HoYoverse games. Used to play Star Rail, but I was like, eh. Apple. Right. One more. Round up. That should be good.
일기당천.
좋아. 코이코이.
You like the middle Canto fight theme.
빈틈투성이군.
And Amphorius was long. Funnily enough, I quit right before the Amphorius. Like I started 3.0 and I was like, yeah, nah, man. I'm playing games to enjoy, not for it to become a chore. I quit and also deleted my HoYoverse account. So I was like, yeah, never turning back. Goodbye, game. That was it for the most part.
잘근잘근 씹어버리겠네.
There's a couple videos on YouTube showing Limbus VAs and who they play in the Korean Arknight stub. It's neat. Interesting.
여기가 네 약점인가?
지키기 위해서.
Hey. Yeah, go to the red. That should be it. Oh, definitely. And just look at the Penacony arc, which I did do. Except for some high points in the story, a lot of it was needlessly dragged out, and all. And also, the Sunday boss fight at the end of 2.6 was good.
지킬 게 많거든.
But I found it very funny that, at least on the 3.0 announcement, they announced how the general patch structure was going to be at the end of 3.0 patches. There's going to be another fucking patch where you go back to a Penacony for, I assume, some lore questions that they failed to answer themselves. And I'm like, fucking bravo, dev team, fucking bravo. You can say I don't exactly like Honkai Star Rail storytelling. Like, a lot of the lore is cool. And then, yeah, you don't really tell a story that's about the cool lore. It's dragged out, the expressions, not really utilizing the medium, which is, it's a 3D game. Why aren't there more cutscenes and stuff like that? So I'm just like, wow. Hellfire Manor. Wasn't those guys that was introduced with the trailer at the start of 2.0? And people were like, oh, something's gonna happen. Nothing fucking happened.
빈틈투성이군.
Okay. All right.
당신 짝패군요.
The ones who got bodied by Acheron, yeah, those guys. Yeah, I remember. Man, if that was the case, they could have just released the fucking trailer for him at towards the end of 3.0. Like, why? Cause, you know, the Huevos has got to be fucking aware about their own marketing. When you introduce somebody with a special trailer, yes, we're gonna make a big deal about him, but then you're just like, no, we're not gonna do anything with it. So it just turns into, I see. Great, thank you guys. Maybe you could have brought it up when it was relevant. Yeah, it was Canto 4, and in the new update patch notes, Canto 4 is getting skip fights, which is awesome, by the way. So we can finish the Canto, and then at a later point in time, you can come back to do the skipped fights you skipped to get all the rewards.
나는 건드리면 안 돼. 너네 진짜 후회하게 될 걸?
4 is just pretty much Elysian Realms 2.0. Boogaloo. Exactly.
난 뒷배가 있어.
You have no idea who's looking out for me. What?
그것도 무려. 너무 겁먹지 마.
A big brother from the middle.
형님이야.
A BB.
형이라.
Skip fights. Yep. In the new update patch notes, when the update for new Limbus company is gonna arrive on the 27th, I read the update notes on Steam. On Canto 4, now for every fight that is not a story fight, you have the ability to skip them, of course, and you wouldn't get the EX stages and clear rewards, but you will be able to get them later on when you finish the Canto.
게다가 퀵핵을 하는 자. 넌 잘 모르나 본데 상당한 현상금도 걸려.
And the middle put a pretty hefty bounty on her pretty head in case you didn't know.
감히 중지의 탈퇴를 선언한 것도 모자라서 잠적을 타버렸다며? 멍청한 게 지나친 것도 정도가 있지. 중지는 결코 잊어버리는
Given that the
법이
middle
없는
never
거야.
forgets.
할 말은 끝났죠.
잠깐. 진짜야?
저희가 어질렀으니 싹 정리해야죠.
I'm not about to leave any loose threads behind.
중지라니까? 너 중지 몰라? 잠깐. 알았어. 위치 알려줄게.
I'll tell you who a friend is.
너희 친구가 잡혀있는 컨테이너. 아직 살아있는 사람이 들어있는 컨테이너에는 초록색 세모가 그려져 있어.
You can go find him on the
최근
east side,
잡혀온 거는
probably.
동쪽 구역일 거고.
초록색 세모? 그게 한 개가 아닐 수도 있을 텐데요.
What if it's in a different shade of green?
비슷한 색일
What if
수도
you're just
있겠군요.
lying to get out of pinch?
속이려면 뭔들 못해.
알 수 있어. 알 수 있다고. 진짜 거짓말 아니야. 어?
들었죠? 방금의 키워드 정도면 충분히 꺼낼 수 있겠네요.
Happy now, Sinclair?
다행이네요, 싱클레어 씨.
Oh, that the hostages are still alive. Sinclair was frowning, but Ishmael didn't seem to care. She stood there rubbing the rest of her weapon arm. It almost appeared as though she was measuring the amount of strength needed to turn Smee's head into pulp in one fell swoop. Wait, killing her could cause us a lot of trouble. We know where the hostage is, and I think that's good enough. Let's head back.
설득할 필요성은 안 느껴져서요, 관리자님.
Kindly get out of my way.
이런 거에 시간 낭비하고 싶지 않아요.
맞아. 나 같은 거에 시간 낭비하는 것도 손해야. 갈 길 가자. 어?
아닐걸.
I
시간 낭비.
disagree. Ishmael?
낙구에 재빠르거든.
Ishmael's eyes were still lost and wandering. She swung back her harpoon arm, ready to strike, and before I even realized what I was doing. Oh! I was leaping in the way.
관리자님! 단테 미쳤어요? 미친 게 누구냔 말이다. 명령 불복 정도 모자라. 감히 관리자님까지!
Was insubordination not enough?
뭐, 잘 선택한 거야. 만약 날 죽였으면 작은 형님이나 작은 누님까지 나섰을걸?
A big brother or even a big sister would have gone after you. I recall the time when the exact opposite happened. When Ishmael leaped in front of me, taking the malfunctioning machine's bullets in my place, and called my name as the body liquefied. As though she had faith that my name alone could make everything right again.
방금 저 새끼를 감싸준 거예요? 조금만 더 옆으로 갔으면 당신 머리가 터졌을 거라고요. 시계 대가리요. 알아요?
Yeah, I do. Boy, you really did that. Wet the heck out of that harpoon. This really hurts.
뭔 그딴 실없는 소리 좀 제발 갖다 치우라고요.
관리자님, 방금 처자의 행동은 그야말로 하극상의 절정이었습니다. 상관 살해 직전! 더 이상 방관할 수 없습니다. 관리자님이 직접 처리할 수 없다면 지금 당장 윗선에 낱낱이 보고 후 향후 처리를 어떻게 할지 논의해야 합니다.
To discuss our future actions. It's okay, Auris. I chose to get in her way.
괜찮지 않습니다. 저자는 지속적으로 우리의 임무에 심각한 차질을 빚게 하고 있습니다. 선을 넘었단 말입니다.
Auris, I said it's okay. I didn't take the harpoon for that woman. I took it for Ishmael.
이제 아예 성인 군자를 자처해 보기로 결심한 거예요? 지금껏 손에 피 한 방울 묻혀보지 않고 오히려 우리에게 대신해서 묻히라 했던 당신이 이제 사람은 더 이상 죽이지 말자. 너희가 정신적으로 몰리지 않았으면 좋겠다. 그런 가슴 따스한
Some
소리도 하고
touchy-feely
싶은
shit
거예요?
like that. Well, if you don't want to understand... Oh, man. Fuck. Now, this is getting uncomfortable. You know why? Her entire feeling of trust, coming back, and then not coming back, then getting on. It's reminding me of an incident or a bit of my own behavior, and also it's just reminding me of my real life. So some of her words are definitely getting under my skin. Let's just say some of her words are definitely getting under my skin. No, it's just my intuition. That probably wasn't very convincing, was it?
당연하죠. 감은 경험과 기억에서 오는 거 아닌가요? 시계 이전의 당신은 더 이상 당신 머릿속에 없는데.
How can I trust
그
your
감을
intuition?
믿으라고요?
Well, Faust trusted our intuition because we could find out the golden boughs. Is that enough? A bullshit justification? That woman, I think she's in a pretty important position of power, at least in this district. Killing her before thinking things through could complicate things.
반대로 살려놓았을 경우 마찬가지 결과를 불러일으킬 수도 있다는 생각은요.
I just think killing everyone in our way, left and right, like this, won't help us in the future.
앞으로
Sorry, I can't. I don't have any better explanation for what I just said.
앞으로라는 게 얼마나 멀리까지를 말하고 있는지 저는 모르지만 적어도 제 앞과 관리자님의 앞은
You have different things in store for us there, Dante. Ah,
단테, 다시는 몸을 함부로 던지지 마시게.
come on. That advice coming from you, from one of you guys, not very convincing.
그대는 12의 책임자이니 우리보다 12배 더 조심해야 하는 것이오.
Thus you must watch yourself 12-fold. Pretty much damned if you do, damned if you don't.
또한 그대의 죽음은 다시는 돌이킬 수 없기에 더욱이 그렇소.
We do not possess the means to bring you back. True.
그리고 되돌릴 수 없는 것은 견딜 수 없이 아픔으로.
Leave behind an unbearably painful void. Oh, Isang. Isang was right. My shoulder was in an unbearable amount of pain.
야, 시계대가리. 괜찮냐?
Heathcliff? Showing concern? What's this? Yeah, I'm good. The clock still works.
뭐? 아니 내 말은 이제 보니 너도 정신 나간 놈이었네. 아니면 이제서야 맛이 가버린 건가?
Oh, why the fuck is this sentence irking me? Holy shit, why the fuck is this sentence irking me so much? What is wrong with me? Why is Heathcliff's sentence right now irking me so much? Jesus Christ.
우리만 문제일 줄 알았더니 너도 마탱이가 간 게 다를 게 없구만.
Probably because of the fact that kinda I'm not referring to that. I think I'm referring to the fact that I mean, if that's how it's gonna be, most of the sinners don't really care for Dante other than contractual obligation and maybe some shared experiences. So of course his head is the most important, not his body. Is it? And then for Heathcliff to be the one person to point out our cognitive dissonance, it feels irksome because it's something that came out from the wrong mouth. Let's just say. I mean, to be fair, if any one of the fucking sinners say that, they're still dying, but they can be brought back to this contractual obligation power of Dante's head that you don't really understand. That Faust maybe has. Probably Faust is the only one that has an idea about what it's capable of, but she still wouldn't be able to know what are the future consequences of this head and power. And now we're starting to show concern. I'm not talking about the softer side. I'm just talking about the... I think what irks me more about Heathcliff's sentence, or maybe even one of the sinners, is, well, we're kind of shoved into the responsibility of being a manager without really anyone else to do anything. Bearing the burden of 12 lives, against our will, of course. Nobody really to understand here. That's kind of why now Dante got the mentality, oh, my head's the only one that's important, because of my head I'm able to revive the sinners. So I don't have a problem with Heathcliff's attitude. I appreciate him showing the softer side. It's just, man, do I want some answers to some questions. Yes, he has also been tamed, whatever that means. But yeah, that's about it. Faust knows all outcomes. I mean, she can't know shit about outcomes, about distortions or phenomena. Maybe something else when it's a relatively very recent occurring phenomena. Unless I'll have to know what the heck's her source of information, you know? You know, it's kind of a very selfish humanitarian thing, but I will say one thing. I'll say one thing. When you are shoved into an environment, forced to act a certain way, and suddenly the people around you start caring about you or showing care, when it was not given to you first, right? Sinclair and Yisang, true. I think that's what's irking me. Yeah, it's mostly a business relationship. I completely get it. And I think that's what's irking me. Because, like, from the start, at least Sinclair and Yisang were the ones who showed care. Everybody else was like, eh. It's definitely an improvement. I am more so talking about a human being's tendency when you're when you're forced to act a certain way without anybody else for you, like, that you're able to talk to about your true thoughts, or anybody being an understander. And now suddenly, out of just pure business obligation, or maybe for some genuine care, that starts to change. Well, where was this in the first place? But that's also the wrong and selfish question to ask, you know? It's a very humane thing to feel. And the only reason that sentence irked me so much was because I think I felt this way 2 to 3 times in my own life. And that's why. That's kind of why it's irksome. Like, if you're gonna treat me like shit, at least be consistent with that behavior going forward. Like, are you guys able to understand what I'm getting at? Or am I just completely talking to dead air there? Well, hello, Rowdy. Welcome to the stream. And I need to keep my own personal experiences aside, but that's just something I noticed. I know it's a very selfish thing to do. Yeah, but at the same time, opinions of people aren't static. True. True. Very much true. And there comes... and there's also the... you know, the opinions aren't static. And then there's also the fact of... people change, story changes. Of course, of course, of course. But there's also the fact, I think, it's more of a... when you're so used to that environment, it's more of a preference for the unchanging. You don't want things to change because who the fuck is to say, well, what's stopping them from stop caring again, right? I think it's three things. It's being shoved into an environment where nobody is able to understand you, and then it's more so out of a business contraction or obligation. Then that unchangingness changes. So there's a fear for that. See, people start caring, so it's more of a selfish desire. And then comes the risk of, what's it called? Well, who the fuck stops them from caring again? Or betrayal, or any of the other bad things. No, we're just talking about life experiences. That's mostly it. Yeah, I'm not talking about that. Like, this is completely understandable, logical, and actually good storytelling for these characters to start developing and opening up to each other a bit. The sentence only irked me because some of my own personal experiences. That's why. And I am talking about in pure Limbus manner, and I'm talking about a very selfish sort of desire for the unchanging. Kind of like how Kellen Murphy pointed out for like Yi Sang. Where instead of intellectualizing these three things I mentioned, it's more of an outburst of frustration over not getting the environment you wanted. Or like, where was this in the fucking first place? And who's to say you can't change again to my own detriment if you want to maintain a relationship with me? Man, I need to... Why the fuck am I getting emotional now? Fucking Christ. I need to calm down. One of the, I'd say, weaknesses of me is when I'm talking about some very serious stuff or some personal experiences, or I'm debating somebody, when I get ideologically challenged, I have a tendency of getting emotional. It's something I need to learn to rein back. Try to have a balance during discussion. And it's a mistake that I've... Fucking Christ, why do I have tears? Give me a minute. I'll be right back. I'm just trying to calm down before I'm just trying to calm down. Let's not get emotional here. You can work through your own weaknesses slowly and but surely. I'll explain. How did we get here? The best way I can summarize what just happened is it was a rant and frustration outburst. That was it. Related to some experiences in my own life. That's it. And this line of Heathcliff, what? That's not what I... Looney Burger, you're not all there either. Maybe it just took you a while to lose it, eh? Yeah, I thought we at least had one sane person on the bus, but you're no different. I was just going on about the concept, just something that irked me. This line of Heathcliff, it irked me. Not because of the fact it's because Heathcliff saying it, but because of the fact that Dante was shoved into an environment where he didn't really have a choice. And suddenly, out of business and contractual obligations, you start to care for the manager. So it's the selfish desire, why didn't you care in the first place? Then it's the unchanging desire, well, you should just keep up the shitty attitude. And then it's the... what's stopping you from to stop caring? And I wasn't talking about any of the story, any of the characters or about Limbus Company. Just talking about a very humane and personal experience I had. That's all. So because of that weird rant and trying to, I guess, explain it, intellectualize it, I ended up sort of expressing my own frustration. That's it. And I got reminded about my own mistakes because I'm comfortable enough, even though I may be a little emotional right now, I'm comfortable enough to say this on stream. What irks me the most is that I've made the same mistake in my own life multiple times. So, and you know, earlier in the stream I said Ishmael's whole entire frustration was kind of getting under my skin, and the comments that she was saying. Because I've done the exact same thing with somebody else in my life. Mostly lost most of their trust because of my behavior, maybe my way of speaking, or not so good decisions earlier on in life. And that's why. So it's that combination. That I was reminded of. So this frustration kind of sort of outburst was also aimed at myself for the most part. That's it. And hey, I'm not ashamed to share this on stream. Didn't really share any personal details, maybe some things that have happened in life. But I'll say one thing that's most of all, genuinely, that's what I strive to make my content. It can be funny, it can be maybe a bit relatable, I don't know. But at the highest priority, it would always be authentic to the person I am. I'm not really going to be hiding or putting as much of a persona. Maybe I will put a bit of a persona for entertainment. But when shit gets real, I'll keep it real. I'll keep it real. Without divulging too many personal details, of course, because this is the internet. So, that's something I strive to do. Authenticity, above all else. I've known a person that acted like Ishmael right now. It was complicated to find a common ground. Yeah, it is. That's it. Really, that's it. Let's continue. Heathcliff shook his head and walked away. We'll do one more story node, and then we'll probably end this stream.
예전보다 많이 나아진 것 같다. 나도. 그러고 보니까 그 환상체 이제 가을을
511
내려준 아이가
shipping
없어졌지.
containers. Woohoo!
관리를 맡겨주실까?
I've had similar connections with later events, and I was fucked up like a week. Sorry to hear that.
만곡된 직선을 직선으로
Yes, Corrado.
질주하겠소.
True, Rowdy. I think the most irksome part is just... Man, do I see a bit of myself in Ishmael, and that's what irks me the most. This trigger warning's got hands. It's all good now, just part of living and interacting with stories. True, true. You think all of these shipping containers are full of...
뭐가 들어있을지는 상상하지 말자.
Right, let's not try to linger on that thought. True, I agree. Labrys Dynasty. I agree with that. Tried my best not to speculate about what terrible things the pirates might be hiding in that mountain of shipping containers.
거기 누구냐? 여기는 어떻게 알고 온 거야?
Yeah, we're forcing them into their worst aspects by chasing these golden sticks, definitely. The setup itself will bring the worst out of you.
아, 우린 이 초록색 세모 컨테이너만 열어보고 바로 갈게. 봐주라, 응?
And we'll be right out of here, okay? Let's take them out before anything worse happens to our agent. Right,
일기당천.
빈틈투성이군.
now think about it, Limbus sure knows who to pick. In what sense are you talking about? Oh, the sinners! In each of them being interesting in some way, shape or form. Is that what you're saying? Yeah. Yeah.
당신 짝패군요.
다 죽어라.
너도 누군가에겐 아껴졌겠지만
Alright, Yisang, activate your skill 3. Alright, Ishmael, that should be enough, I think.
정확하게
물 넘고.
I wish I had a silver people's Limbus's people seeking skill.
되게 많거든.
비가 오네.
Just look for the right person and all.
허술하군.
Take this particular person to retrieve Golden Bowl while they have Visualist there babysit. There's definitely much more to all this, for sure.
잘근잘근 씹어버리겠네.
차라리
Ditch. I mean, who here actually reads the small print on the contract? Well, I don't need to.
허술하군.
Why? Because I'm unemployed.
자비에 감사하다.
Oh my god. It's that meme of the man with the what's it called? The glasses. You read the fine print on the contract because you're out of obligation. I don't read because I don't want to. We're not the same. Oh my god. That was a little stupid, but still. I mean, this guy is about to die. Let's spare him the trouble.
잘근잘근 씹어버리겠네.
A lot of French man for sure did.
자세가 모르겠네.
I mean, speaking of eyesight, to be fair, like, to be extremely fair, I myself have been prescribed spectacles since I was like
수습이 늦어지면
in grade 3.
다 헛수고가 될 테니. 검지에
Shipping containers 2. It's another fight. Actually, I think I can continue for another 15 minutes, and yeah, we should be able to continue for another 15 minutes. Yeah, we spoke about this earlier. Clevelands or A. Yeah, I'm gonna have to read out your tagged username because YouTube chat. That's it. But I'll be right back. Just this little piss break again. Will I be shipping the containers with? We're shipping the containers with containers. Shipping containers too.
마지막까지.
We're just shipping containers, that's all we're doing. Right. I don't know what I was doing there.
짝패군요.
그 오물을 떼어내주지.
Alright.
당신 짝패군요.
It's such an absurd world and setting. Limbus is pretty real to me.
좋아.
빈틈 투성이군.
스켈레터.
But yeah, hey, you can rewatch the ward later on. Today's gonna be a short one. I'm probably gonna be ending stream in about 10 minutes. Gotta attend a wedding and eat free dinner, basically.
빠르게 처리하지.
사물. 앵화.
너도 누군가에게
바람 불어오는 대로 짓밟아라.
Okay, one more. Just so we don't lose the buff. Yeah, should be fine.
잘근잘근 씹어버리겠네. 야!
주목과 피. 코코.
Of course.
좋아. 코이코이. 우리는
지키기. 너도 누군가에게 맡겨졌겠지만 나도 지킬 게
Okay, let's go. Let's go to Command and Clutch.
너도 누군가에게 맡겨졌겠지만
자세가 뭐는 자비에 감사도.
Alright, 2 more. Only 2 more. Double skill 3s. These people are not surviving.
차라리
Hire him.
아무것도 남지 마라.
차라리
Pirate obliteration, I would say.
자세가 뭐는 자비에 감사도.
Those particular pirates are enjoying it. 2 heads and minus 4 TSP.
예전보다 많이 나아진 것 같다. 나도.
I didn't even
그
notice that.
환상체
Mr.
이제
Pilot.
가오를 내려준 아이가 없어졌지.
Alright, after
다시
reading this, I'll
관리를
probably
맡겨주실까?
end it, to be fair.
이 컨테이너일 거예요. 이제 열면
Back to the different.
LCCB 부서의 팀장이 이곳에.
This skill names feature hit me harder and even I see. This one's got to be this shopping container, and in here should be the LTCB team captain.
정말 죽는 줄 알았습니다. 저는 이번 작전에 투입된 LCCB 사전 관측 3과 대리 파일럿이라고 합니다.
Pilot. Why is bro talking like his nose is blocked? Preliminary Observation Unit 3 Assistant Manager.
당신 팀장이 아니었어요? 그놈들은 잡은 게 LCCB 팀장이라고 했는데.
아, 뭡니까? 그 노골적으로 실망한 말투는.
What's up with the obvious disappointment?
구해주셔서 감사합니다. LCB 분들에 대한 이야기는 많이 전해드렸습니다.
What kind of stories, I wonder?
실제로 만나뵙게 되니 영광입니다. 입사할 때부터 계속 팬이었습니다.
I've been a huge fan since I joined the company.
다들 표정이 왜들 그럽니까?
이해해줘. 우리가 지난번 작전에서는 팬이라고 주장한 어떤 작자한테
There was a whole mess with this other guy who claimed to be a fan. Right. If you don't really want any fans after Dongrong. Was my guy's name Dongrong? I forget. Of course, he sang with the call.
그리고 전해드릴 말이
Dongrang,
있습니다.
yeah. Message to Olivia. Dongrong is close enough.
당신들 이번에도 우왕좌왕하면서 유사 어딘가를 정신없이 헤집어 놓고 있겠네요.
Who is that supposed to be?
대파괴 시간.
Time for.
아닙니다. 그게 아니라 그분의 메시지를 좀 더 생동감 있게 전달한 것입니다.
I am delivering the message exactly as she said it in intonations and all. 롱동.
조심해야 해. 우리랑 이야기할 때는 주어부터 빠르게 알려줘야 한다고.
To tell us who this she is too.
단축과 생략은 뉘앙스가 전혀 다르다. 초보인 것 같으니 한 번만 넘어가 주지.
Abbreviations and omissions are two completely different things. I'll let slide fledgling just this once.
주어 말입니까? 그거야 당연히
none of
소드
them.
과장님이시죠?
Huh? Manager Miss Saudi herself?
소드 씨가 살아 계세요?
That was so surprising. Ishmael exclaimed twice. Like the exclamation mark happened twice.
과장? 승진한 건가?
Did she get promoted?
아직 재활 중에 계십니다만 다행히 LCCA 부서에서 빠르게 도착해 주신 덕에 아슬아슬하게 목숨을
Treated her
건지셨습니다.
wounds and saving her life. Hey, awesome. Probably with the, I'd say capsules or something.
추서된 건 아닌 듯하군. 다행인가.
I'm glad it wasn't a posthumous promotion.
소드 과장님도 여러분을 만나 뵙고 싶어 했는데 임무가 엇갈려서 이곳으로 오시지는 못하셨습니다.
On account of her being on a different mission. I'm glad she's okay.
소드 씨는 괜찮으신가요?
물론입니다. 고비는 몇 번 넘기셔서 지금은 밥도 잘 드시고 대화도 잘 하십니다.
But she's healthy enough to eat some grub and hold a lengthy conversation. Imagine getting promoted post.
아니, 그건 다행인데 그걸 묻는 게 아니라
Because I was asking because
파트너를 잃었잖아요. 바로 코앞에서.
she lost her partners right before her eyes. Oh, that has to do something with you, huh? Pilot produced a piece of old folded paper and began reading from it.
LCCB 사원 여러분들은 한 번 더 기억해 주시기 바랍니다. 저희 B4팀은 모두를 대신해서 길을 트는 중요한 임무를 맡은 직원들입니다. 여러분들이 피를 흘려가며 내디딘 한 걸음 한 걸음이 미래를 위한 길이 됩니다. 그 길을 따라 우리
follow
림버스
into the
컴퍼니의
future.
직원 모든 분이 나아갈 수 있습니다.
Yeah, but I was about to say that sounds like something in the military. Very much sounds like it.
입사하자마자 받는 신입 교육 매뉴얼에서 가장 먼저 나오는 내용입니다.
Very first line from the new hire training guide we issued.
저는 말입니다. 희생을 자랑스럽게 생각합니다. 비록 제 LCCB 동기들은 빠르게 돈만 벌고 빠지면 되는 거고 제가 유독 별난
Say I'm the
거라고
odd
하지만
one out
말입니다.
though. Oh, you definitely are in that since pilot.
희생이 자랑스러워? 진심이에요?
자자 이스, 정어리 고래맛 아이스크림 먹고 싶다고? 나도 같은 생각이었는데 어쩌고 신기하네.
True. Actually, you know what? True. I trust my corporate overlords. Pilot probably. Rogers. Ishmael is not taking this well.
아니, 놓으라고요. 무슨 뭔 힘이?
Hey, let me go. Let me go. How are you so strong? Roger grabbed Ishmael's arm and began practically dragging her outside. Well, just in case she gets into another fight. I decided to sneakily follow them from a distance. Rushing back.
이스, 자꾸 그러면 분위기 너무 처지잖아. 사람 잘 살려놨는데 꼭 그래야겠어? 상태가 안 좋은 건 알겠는데 조금만 참자니까.
She's Russian. Let's be a bit more patient, okay?
저건 그냥 세뇌잖아요.
What happened? That's just indoctrination. They're brainwashing them.
개죽음일 수 있단 걸 아무도 인정하고 싶지 않아서 희생이라고 포장만 하는.
So they wrap that neatly in the name of self-sacrifice.
알아.
그럼
하지만 그렇게라도 생각해야 견뎌지는 사람들도 있지 않겠어? 당장에 돈 벌어먹어야 사라지는 사람들도 있을 거고.
Sometimes they just don't have a choice. People need a way to endure that reality and go on living somehow.
저 의욕 넘치는 친구한테 빨리 정보 얻어야지. 응?
Let's hear out our overzealous friend. How about that?
애새끼 달래듯이 말하지 마세요.
Don't talk down to me like you're coddling some baby.
저희가 그럴 정도의 사이는 아니잖아요. 로자 씨. 휘둘려 주는 것도 이번뿐이에요.
알았어.
Roger seemed to have noticed that I was following them all along, and she signaled me with a quick wink. And I was able to return to where the other sinners were before they did. Nice. As one would say. Mr. Pilot too. Okay. How long is this gonna take? Because we're at the end of part 1, right? How many more nodes are there? Like 2 more nodes?
고래 아이스크림. 둘이서만 먹고 온 것이요.
Don's sad now. Alright, I'll have to see how much I can not stretch out the stream, just end the stream as soon as part 1 ends. Man, I'm gonna be late for the wedding dinner at this rate. It's injustice that thou hast left me out of that thine ice cream, John.
여기는 영 맛이 별로야. 비려. 인어를 갈아 넣었나?
It tasted like fish, not worth the walk. Maybe they put ground mermaid in here.
스크림은 말이요.
The absolute horror in that voice line.
스크림은 말이요.
Man, I love Dawn and her VA. It's amazing. Ground mermaid and ice cream.
이렇게 많은 사람이 보고 있으니까 긴장된다.
Oh, what an audience. How's tough?
네? 빨리 말해달래요.
Tough.
다
SFS.
아니면 대가리.
Or suffered the obliteration of wet.
알려주셔서 고맙습니다. 저 한결 나아지는 기분입니다.
I feel a little better.
왜냐하면 방금 정말 LCCB 부사장님 같았거든요.
LCC before team director just now.
정말 혹독하게 다뤄줬나 보네.
Must be a hell of a boss, huh?
그러니까
Where do I begin?
저희도 황금가지가 있는 로보토미 지부의 정확한 위치를 알기까지 꽤 긴 시간이 걸렸습니다. 저와 대원들은 꽤 철두철미한 성격이긴 했습니다만 결국 유사 뒷골목을 막고 있던 쌍갈고리 해적단 놈들에게 덜미를 잡혀버리고 만 것이 아니겠습니까?
Right, that's what we would
그러니까 이
assume.
정도면 진짜 싼 거라니까 그러네.
This is the cheapest bottle of oil in all of Great Lake, I tell you.
아무리 생각해도 말이 안 되지 않습니까? 어떻게 어느 고래에서 나왔는지도 확실하지 않는 고래 기름이 이렇게 비쌀 수 있는 겁니까?
잠깐. 너희가 대놓고 심기를 거슬렀는데?
You pretty much antagonize them to their faces.
아니, 그놈들이 글쎄 대놓고 저희에게 사기를 치려고 하지 뭡니까?
아니 정보를 알아내기 위한 비용 치고는 사소한 거 아니야?
Couldn't you just have paid a bit of money for some intel though?
아무튼
Well, anyway.
저희 비포팀의 철저한 수색 끝에 저희는 황금가지가 있는 대호수 위에 로보토미 지부의 위치까지
golden
알아냈습니다.
황금가지는 무사히 존재하던가요?
네, 그 유명한 눈이 부시면서도 그렇다고 엄청 부시지 않는다는
Too bright yet not too bright, was it? Oh.
직접 보니 그 말이 무슨 말인지 알 것 같았습니다. 로보토미 지부선의 깊숙한 곳에서 황금가지의 빛이 참 영롱하게 새어나오고 있었습니다.
Lobotomy called branch it.
관측과 통로 개척까지 마친 뒤에 보고서를 작성하고 돌아가려고 했습니다. 저희 비포팀의 업무는 황금가지가 정말 그 자리에 있는가를 확인하는 사전 조사입니다. 그 과정에서 지부에 남아있는 환상치랑도 싸울 수도 있고 전멸한 팀도 꽤 있다고 합니다.
I'll get wiped out in the
작전을
process.
성공적으로 완수했다고 판단해서 복귀하려던 찰나에
그 해적 놈들에게 덜미를 잡혀버렸던 거구만.
현장의 하루 팀장님은 작전을 수행하다 보면 이런 식으로 적대 세력들이 급습해오는 일은 빈번하다고 하셨습니다.
Happened all the time.
나는 너희가 이 으스스한 곳에서 뭘
So I
하든
don't really
별
care
관심은 없는데 말이야.
what you're doing all the way out here on this creepy ship, but
이분께서 하도 궁금해하셔서 같이 가게 됐어. 괜찮지?
no objections, huh? Pilot's face turned pale with fear for the first time since he started recounting this story.
그때 팀장님의 손에서 무기를 놓치는 소리가 들렸습니다.
Slip out of our
저희 팀장님 현장에서 진짜 명망 높으신 분입니다. 포기를 모르는 마음 굳센 분이었는데도 말입니다. 옆을 돌아봐 팀장님 표정을 보니 그건 허탈함이었습니다.
그러고 남긴 말이 있었겠죠.
Would it be correct in assuming that she had something to say at that moment?
이번 작전은 실패했다. 그렇게 말씀하셨습니다.
Mission failed verbatim.
대체 누구를 받길래 그렇게 반응한 거야?
이곳에 중지 간부가 있어선 안 돼라고 하셨습니다.
An officer from the middle shouldn't be here.
엄청나게 휘갈겨 놓은 문신이 있었나 봐.
That glowed
그리고
purple.
거기서 보라색 빛도 나고.
어떻게 하셨습니까? 제일 먼저 눈에 들어온 건
That was the very first
문양의
thing I noticed about him
보라색으로 빛나는
actually.
문신이었습니다.
Purple glowing tattoo.
그래도 저는 승산이 있지 않을까라고 생각했습니다. 우리 삼과는 실적도 좋고 대단한 분들이 많으니까.
그럴 리가 있나?
You didn't.
그 이후로는 기억이 흐릿합니다.
And I do not recall much more after that.
정신을 차렸을 때는 제 뺨이 바닥에 붙어 있었습니다. 처음엔 아무 소리도 들리지 않았다고 생각했습니다. 가까운 데서 폭탄이 터지면 귀 근처가 울리지 않습니까?
Yeah.
고막이 터졌다고 생각했습니다. 하지만 그게 저희 팀원들의 고함과 비명이 끊이지 않고 섞였던 소리라는 걸 금방 깨달았습니다.
Oh.
그걸 구분할 수 있게 되니까 그 소리들의 가장 밑바닥에 무슨 울림이 있다는 것도
Deep rumbling
깨달았습니다.
echoing underneath all that.
마치 지부 먼 발치에서부터 울려 퍼지고 있는 듯한 기괴한 울림.
What? That sounded like it was echoing from a place far away from the branch.
기괴한.
예, 마치 폭발 소리 같았습니다. 근데 그 울림을 구분할 수 있게 된 게 저만은
Odd
아니었던
noise
것
too.
같습니다. 그 해적들도 갑자기 이상하다는 듯이 불안해했습니다. 심지어 그 중지에 작은 형님이라 불리는 자주차도 당황해한 것 같았습니다.
And even the big brother from the middle was
작은
rattled.
형님? 너 확실하게 들은 거야? 아까 해적 부선장 말이
I guess it really was a big fish looking out for the pirates. Big brother of the middle.
분명 그렇게 말했습니다. 작은 형님.
그 낯짝들 여전한
So it went from a shit show to a disaster.
돈이 될 만한 놈들만 챙기고 돌아간다.
We're leaving now.
전 오재앙 중 하나야. 이곳에 다다르기 전에 떠나야 우리가 산다.
We're all dead meat if you don't. One of the 5 calamities.
하나 더 기억나는 건 팀장님입니다. 제가 의식을 잃기 직전 팀장님이 제 가슴팍에 자신의 사원증을 붙여주셨습니다. 그 해적들이 안 보는 틈을 타서 그때는 이해가 안 됐었습니다. 그런데 지금 와서 생각해보니 막내인 제 몸값을 높여서 발견되었을 때 목숨을 건질 확률을 어떻게든 높여주려고 하셨던 것이었습니다.
I don't think that's what she did.
정리를 해보자면 LCCB 대원들은
Every
전부
LCCB
부상을
agent
입거나
was either
의식이
injured or
불명한
unconscious.
계획에는 없던 중지가 끼어들고 거기에 더해서 그 녀석들도 쫄 정도의 정체물에 무언가.
And there was this calamity that even the middle bloke was scared of.
파일럿 씨, 지부의 좌표를 전달해 주실 수 있을까요?
Of course. Pilot produced a piece of paper that had been folded over many times and handed it over to Faust. On another bird in Limbus business, likely dead. As a hostage yet?
꼼꼼하게 적어놓았습니다. 저들에게 들키지 않으려고 조금 은밀하게 숨겨놓았는데 이렇게라도 드릴 수 있어서 정말 다행입니다.
So the leader gave her badge to Pilot to save him.
잠깐만요. 그 제약 말인데요. 다른 특징 같은 건 없었나요? 있을 텐데.
흰색, 분명 흰색인데 생전 처음 보는 하얀
An
듯한
off-white color
아닌
and
듯한
anything I've laid my eyes on
거대하고
before.
창백한 인상이었다는 사실만 기억에 남습니다.
I'm sure I've heard it before.
그리고 그 떨리는 소리.
Yeah, more than likely just so someone could relay the information.
아, 유사의 그 특이점 있지 않습니까? 굽쇠가 합쳐질 때 나는 소리와 비슷했습니다.
Oh, that rumbling sounded a lot like them tuning forks when they combine stuff together.
그래. 거의 다 왔어.
저도 같이 가겠습니다. 어쩌면 지부 안내에도 도움이 될지도 모른다.
LCCB와의 작전 동행은 예정되어 있던
It's to be a
사안이긴
joint
합니다.
operation with the LCCB. Well, they're just supposed to accompany us to the Lobotomy Corp branch.
단테, 어떻게 하실 건가요?
Tell him that while I appreciate his offer, I decline. People that get involved with us often don't make it out in the one piece.
동감.
우리가 너 살려준 거야, 짜샤. 빨리 고마워해.
고맙습니다.
Thank you. Keep speaking. Ishmael is almost there.
파일럿 씨는 LCA 팀이 도착할 때까지 대기하시다가 본부로 돌아가셔서 보고를 부탁드립니다.
Then return to your base and report your findings.
아, 함께하지 않는다는 결정이셨습니까? 역시 들은 대로 시계 째깍이는 소리밖에 들리지 않으십니다.
마음 넓으신 관리자님께서 직접 마음은 고마웠다고 말씀하셨다. 그 은혜까지 꼭 기억하고 돌아가도록.
As also deigned to thank you for your offer. Remember that as you return.
알겠습니다. 그럼 몸 조심하십시오.
그럼 제가 얻을 건 얻었으니까.
Ishmael was the first to leave the room. This meeting was pretty short-lived.
얼마 되지도 않았는데 저도 씨에게 안부 전해줘.
But hey, say hello to Saudi first, will you?
그때 정말
Please tell her that I'm
고마웠다고도
thankful for what she did for us.
말씀해 주세요. 그때 저는 그런 얘기도 못 드렸으니까요. 꼭 그러겠습니다.
Bro's getting emotional because of the delivery and the atmosphere.
파일럿군. 그래도 잘 견뎌주었구려.
You have endured well despite the tribulations, pilot.
오, 이상 훈훈한 마무리네.
누군가는 이 말을 남겨줘야 할 것 같았어.
It appeared to me that he deserved such words. Hey, getting those words from an ideal man. How nice.
저희 팀원들이 보고 싶습니다.
Ah. Well,
막내라고 다들 엄청 챙겨주셨는데.
there is some humanity here.
어쩌면 지부의 저희 대원 중 생존자가 있을지도 모릅니다.
Pilot's eyes, which had been welling up for a while, eventually broke like a dam. Tears flowed down his cheeks to the ground. And now the realization of what happened just hit him.
우리가 꼭 구해 보이겠어.
You have my word.
네.
Of course.
반드시요. 이번에야말로.
Ooh.
파일럿이가 전달하신 로보토미 지부의 변동 좌표를 확인해 보았습니다.
I've examined the variable coordinates Mr. Pilot provided us. Interesting look at Ishmael clenching her teeth. What exactly are variable coordinates?
저희가 찾고 있는 로보토미 지부나 청새치 항구선 같이 규모가 큰 배들은
Receive partial laws of
대우수에 대한
the
부분적인
Great Lake in
규칙을
an encrypted form
유사로부터 암호화 상태로
from UCorp.
전달받습니다.
Oh, partial laws.
둥지안의 대우수의 규칙에 대한 각 정보는 유사가 확보하여 엄격히 통제하고 있기 때문에 정보에 상응하는 대가를 여러 형태로 치러야 합니다.
Pay various prices for that privilege. Strict monopoly on the intel regarding the laws of the Great Lake within the nest.
그렇게 전달받은 부분적인 대우수의 정보를 토대로 자신들이 언제 어디에 위치해야 호수의
Ensure
규칙에서
a safe voyage and
안전한지를
finalize it
기록하여
into a standardized form known as a
변동
variable
좌표로 만들죠.
coordinates. Ah, interesting.
항구선의 경우는 많은 고객을 유치해야 하니까 그런 좌표를 수시로 선박들에게
Often send
전송하지만
out the coordinates to other vessels
그럴
as they
필요가
want to
없는
host as many
폐쇄성을
guests
띠는
as possible.
구 엘사 지부의 경우는 비밀에 붙여지죠.
But yeah, a vessel that prioritizes privacy and secrecy won't do that.
그러면 로보토미 지부는 뭔가 보물성 같은 거니까 분명
Kinda
암암리의
like a treasure
좌표가
ship, huh?
비싸게 거래되겠네.
Then there's gotta be a black market out there for people willing to pay big money for its coordinates.
훌륭한 추측이네요.
Impressive deduction.
게다가 변동 좌표는 일반적인 좌표와 달리 굉장히 긴 암호화된 코드예요.
I composed of lengthy and encrypted codes.
그래서 호수를 항해하는 배는 대부분 호수 위에 위치하는 시설을 찾아가기 위해서
And the
변동
destination
좌표를
based on that
입력하여
information, said
항해합니다.
vessels will follow a certain route,
일정 주기마다
charted via the
목적지의
automatic
현재 위치를
navigation
확인하는
system that
궤도
periodically
자동
confirms the
확인이
current location of their
장착되어 있기도
destination.
하고요.
Periodically confirms the current location of their destination.
와, 뭔가 어려운 말이지만
That's a lot of words.
어쨌든 파일럿씨에게 얻은 정보를 여기에 입력하면
So basically, if we enter the information we got from Mr. Pilot here, we can somehow find our way to the Lobotomy Corp branch.
유사가 관리하는 대우수를 넘어 외곽으로 가면 아무 쓸모 없지만
It's useless in the waters of the outskirts beyond the borders of UCorp.
그렇죠. 그렇다 해도 로보토미 지부는
borders.
유사 안에 있으니
You'll have no
이 변동
trouble
좌표만
analyzing
있으면
the vessel's pattern,
배가
travel
항해하는 패턴을
patterns,
파악하여
as long
예측할
as
수
we have
있습니다.
its variable coordinates. Gotcha, then let's get a move on. Isang and Sinclair nodded with determination, while the other sinners followed suit and hurried on. Though I didn't catch a clear view, I think Ishmael nodded too. Interesting. CG over here. Also, yeah, that's it. That's it. I thank you all for watching. If you did enjoy, please be sure to like and subscribe. It helps out the channel a ton. Trying to reach 500 subs before the end of November. I didn't do that. I didn't do any of the shouting out and stuff like that earlier, but yeah, 3.5 hour stream, I'd say. That's good enough for now. I gotta attend me wedding and eat free dinner, so I'll be back either 5 days later or a week later with another Limbus stream. But if Arknights decides to not work, then sure, you'll get another Limbus stream. Why not? I'll definitely say I'm most hooked on Canto 5. Definitely, I feel like it's I'm gonna have to say the later half of it in the conclusion, but definitely feels like it's gonna be my favorite Canto. But anyways,